Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to a Sunday night edition of the Crypto Treehouse. My name is Red Baron, your host here on the live stream, and we're going to do what we do every single day here during the crash, and that's watch the world burn. So, without much ado here, hang on just a second. I'm going to grab a couple of things here real quick. We're going to have a little mild silence on thing while I wait for a few people to get into the chat. Normally, I've got a bunch of people jumping in line. I kind of came in at kind of an odd time because I just got done teaching a crypto class, and so everybody's kind of getting unbuckled from that. And of course, obviously, it's a Father's Day, so there's an awful lot of stuff going on a personal level. So hang tight for just a second here, and we'll wait for people to join in on the chat, and we will get started with our normal broadcast. There we go. There are people starting to come in. Hey, Diane, how you doing? Juan, good to have you. So while I wait and kill a couple minutes here, let me talk to you about a few things. We're going to be having a giveaway here pretty soon, and that's going to be available here. All you got to do in order to win, get a chance to win, is join us at the unfairadvantage.chat. The unfairadvantage.chat. And anyone that does that will be qualified to win in the drawing or qualified for the drawing that we're going to be having here at the first of next month. So July 1st, live on air, we're going to be doing a live stream broadcast, of which during that broadcast we're going to be picking out a lucky winner from amongst our people at the unfairadvantage.chat, which is our crypto Discord for you to join, of course. You don't need to buy anything. You don't need to subscribe to anything. Just join us, be a part of our community. We'd love to have you. So we'll be doing a pick for that on July 1st, probably around about 7:30 Central Chicagoland time, and giving away 5,000 VeChain to one lucky winner donated to us by one of our very very supporting viewers that is part of what we do. And we can't thank you enough for being a part of that and for making that donation to us and for helping us spread the word and make things grow even faster than they already are. We're doing amazing. We're having an amazing month, guys. We've added over 1,500 subscribers, and they just keep piling in. So, when you got the good news, people want to share it, and when you got good information, you can't keep it suppressed for very long, can you? So, and speaking of good news, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get on to the show here. We're going to cover a few things. Let me go ahead and slide the charts in on here. So, you guys, we're going to be using our charts, which are AI-powered charts, using something called ISIS, which is our automated intelligence system, something you will not find anywhere else on YouTube, and indeed in the investment world. It is quite a unique thing. We call it our digital desktop crystal ball. And it is an accurate system with a degree of accuracy that you don't think you're probably going to find anywhere anytime soon. So let's go ahead and take a look at a few calls here. And if you guys would like to be a part of that, you'd like to subscribe to the charts, you can go ahead and go over to fibbycharts.com, which is a supplier of these charts, and you can just simply go to subscribe and pick out a package. And if you'd like to know a little bit more about the packages, which start at bronze level, start at about $25 a month and go on up to the more advanced packages, you could do that. However, if you'd like to know exactly what's in those packages, you can do that by clicking on the Tell Me More, and you can see the coins that you get within the packages. Now, a lot of guys what they're doing is they're coming in generally, if you're a serious trader and you really want to have a lot of variety, you want to have a lot of good calls, you want to be part of a chat group. You would want to come in at the gold level package, which does have, we give you our free Discord as part of their package. You're more than welcome to join us, and we will unlock a gold chat for you and let you be part of our gold level. However, if you want to kind of go big, which a lot of guys come in at gold, and very, very soon they step up to the larger packages because they're making quite a bit of money. They step up to the platinum package, which is where most people are migrating towards. We carry an awful lot of charts, and we cover over 100 different cryptos here. We're adding more here pretty soon. Plus, we also do precious metals and a few key stocks, but you also have 2 levels plus price calls of chat. So you have the gold chat plus the platinum chat. And so it's a very good community. If you're looking for a community that has some serious adults, business-minded, good people, very good people. I'm thrilled to be associated with the folks that are in my group and the folks that are coming over from Fibby Charts as well, and glad to have you as part of what we do over on our Discord, and couldn't be more pleased at our growth that we're experiencing here on the channels. So again, without delaying too much here, let's go ahead and get into the market and take a look at what's been going on since the last calls. It's quite impressive. All right, so Bitcoin, let's take a look at the main thing here. So we've had a little bit of a bounce here. So I told you that this was to be expected. I mean, you can't keep taking and taking and taking and not give a little bit of hope back. So let's go ahead and talk about the broader narrative. I've had a lot of you guys in the discords that say, oh, is this the turnaround? Is this the turnaround? Well, I'm going to sum this up very simply. No, it's not. If you take a look at the general context of the direction, I mean, this is the problem that a lot of guys have when they're looking at the charts. They're seeing this, and I mean, it looks good. When you're zoomed in on it, it looks like the clouds are parting and the birds are chirping and the rainbows are coming out to play and the unicorns are breeding and all that all that other stuff. But I'm here to tell you right now, this does not mean anything. All this is here is just to fuel the market. It's just general moves. It's not doing anything that's really signaling to me that the worst is over. In fact, I've told you that we're expecting a lot worse, and my call has not changed. I told you that we're in a window starting on the 17th. I told you we were going to start to see blood in the market. And to the day, the 17th is when this all kicked off and started. And I told you the 21st is when I expect it to be at the high water mark, on or around the 21st. And as I look at my calendar, I know about y'all, we're on the 20th, so we're not done yet. Now, I do expect that the 21st is not going to be just like it's 21st cut off, we're done. You got to roll a little bit. So Monday being tomorrow, the 21st here in America, you're probably going to wake up to some pretty icky stuff going on in the market from a hodler standpoint. From a buyer standpoint, it's looking pretty damn good, isn't it, guys? But the 21st is by no means am I suggesting that the 22nd the clouds are going to part and things are just going to be immediately better. I mean, obviously no one can get that dialed in on time. However, I'm telling you that I think we are in the worst of it, but it's still going to get a little bit worse. We're not completely at the bottom. And I am tentatively eyeballing a $25,000 Bitcoin. Really not much to say on that right now. I mean, the market is such that we're seeing everything down. That is, I'll grant you a very catastrophic drop, but that is exactly what I'm expecting. I'm expecting that, as I explained to you, that it's like a snowball rolling downhill. And we'll revisit that theory here when we talk about XRP. But clearly anyone that's been watching XRP for like the last couple days cannot deny that snowball is a hell of a lot bigger than it was last week. Am I not correct in that? Now, let's go ahead and take a little simple TA here and kind of show you what I expect could possibly happen. So I have a couple little sketch markers here telling you. So we hit the call. So the last call that was made on this, obviously I do have to sleep, so I don't stand over the markets quite a bit, and do catch every single call. But the call, when we were here, we came down. I did a call for right here based on the ISIS program, which is the left-right lines that are going up and down are part of our automated intelligence grid system we call the unfair advantage. And so I plugged in standard TA into the grid, and I said we should be able to come right down to here. And sure enough, a couple days later, we walked sideways. We plummeted right down to the call marker, 33.8818.43. Came down, dropped down a little bit down to the next AI line, and then we launched up. So now this is just simply dropping out. Now, if you're looking at, interestingly enough, I do want to show you something. The guys that look at this and kind of go, well, the market is saying that it's up, and I'm suggesting to you that no, in fact, it's not. Let's take a look at this, something that kind of comes right to mind looking at this. If you guys understand technical analysis, or what I call TA, and you look at, let me do it again here, let me get the right tool. If you look at this formation right here, it would suggest to you that we should have, in fact, gone to right here, which is why I had that sketched. That's why I didn't put it as an official call with an arrow, is because shoulda, coulda, woulda, didn't. So what this is artificial manipulation, every last stinking bit of it, and I'll show you why. I'll make a case for it. Because what we're seeing in the market is we're seeing a hell of a lot of down. We cannot continue, or the markets cannot continue to rob people endlessly without giving them a reason to step up to the casino and throw down their bucks again on another bet. So down, 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 down. We're coming up to pump up a little bit of hopium. Let's go ahead and throw a channel on this and really explain my position, or really outline my position a lot better in the form of a channel. Now, if we're looking at this in a channel, from a channel perspective, this is going to be kind of a loose channel, so don't set your watch by this. If we're looking at this, you can very clearly see we are not, let me go ahead and get some of this stuff out here. We are not venturing outside of the realm of norm. We were operating, in fact, if we were to really look at this, we haven't even stepped outside the channel. We're walking down the inside of the channel. So what is this really? It's just more of the same. It's designed on the micro to look very hopium filled, but on the macro, as you step back and look and see, we're not doing anything that we shouldn't be doing, or that was not forecasted to have happen. So this red box, it's going to happen. This right here at the bottom of the channel, it's going to happen. Sooner or later, this is going to start going down, 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 and we're not done yet. And we are going to capitulate. We are going to start venturing down to 25,000. What I expect is the snowball is going to get bigger, bigger, bigger. Now, we talked about China. China being off roughly 12 to 13 hours from central Chicagoland time here in America, where I'm at. And generally speaking, the theory goes, not always, this is why we call it a theory, not a rule. The theory goes is usually when we're having a bad day, China wakes up because there's 10 times more of them than there are of us. And there's some trading fools over there. They wake up. If we're having a bad day, they're going to make it worse. If we're having a good day, they're going to make it better. Sometimes they'll make a bad day bad, and then we'll wake up and we'll make their bad day somewhat, worse. It's kind of an ebb and a flow, a trade back and forth and stuff. So this pump that we have had, if you care to define it as a pump, and we've seen it market wide, this pump that we've seen here, we're too far away. It's 7:41 p.m. right now. We're too far away from China waking up, which they should be waking up here in about 3 hours. I won't be on live stream at that point in time, but they'll be waking up in the morning. So if we see anything in a downward turn here for the next 2-3 hours, we're going to continue down, no problem. I don't expect anything to really get out of hand and start pumping upwards yet. I just don't get that vibe. I don't see anything that really gives me reason to believe. And again, I've made many. I try to give you guys reasons for my belief rather than just saying because the charts say so. Because I said so, that's not a reason. I want to kind of give you some psychology and some explanation. And I'm a student of human nature and business nature. Have been for 30-some years. That have been in multiple businesses, and so I've observed the way the elites and the way the powers that be move their money, and so I pass that on to you. And as one of the simple cases that I've made is like, okay, for example, let's talk XRP for a second. So we've crushed XRP down to considerably low levels, but we haven't really hit a level at which it's attractive for big money to come in. I think we can all concede that, and I've told you that 22 to 25 cents feels like about the right target for me. In 30, I'll spot you 30, but certainly no higher than that. And the reason why is because we've had so much time that we've spent in that area that if we're going to revisit an all-time low, that's it. And so to come halfway down the road and not deliver the payload, so to speak, does not excite anyone with deep pockets and big bucks to spend. They want bargain basement prices, and the basement is at 22 cents to 25 cents, possibly even lower. With XLM, it's 11%. It's 11 cents to possibly, I'll concede, as high as 19, but probably closer to 17. So 11 cents to 17 cents is about where you should be, and we are not there yet. We are not there yet. Now, we're going to talk about those charts here coming up in the broadcast, but for right now, let's just talk about Bitcoin. We can see the general narrative is not trending upward. So keep that in the back of your mind as we progress through the charts. And we will see a lot more of the same here. So Ethereum. Ethereum is already front-running my narrative. Right here. See, it's already starting to roll over in basically that same channel, which I already had outlined and showing you guys. So we're already rolling over. We're already kind of licking the top of the AI line there. So you guys that are new to the broadcast always have to kind of do this, bring everybody up to speed. So we use an AI-based platform that's embedded within the TradeView charts, and it's called ISIS. We have two bots. One, which is a long-distance forecasting software called Anubis, and we have another one called ISIS. And ISIS is responsible for these bronze lines going left to right and the lines going up and down. The lines going up and down are time cycles. So literally we can watch these lines like this one right here, and we can see when the computer is going to make a decision to change direction. So these are kind of cheat codes for the computer to kind of know when it's about ready to make a drop decision. We can do that. We can figure that out by looking at these dotted lines and these solid lines, and we can see how far they're going to drop them and how high they're going to raise them by looking at the bronze lines. The bronze lines have an element of Fibonacci built into them, but they are not Fibonacci lines. We do have Our chart once in a while shows standard Fibonacci lines, which are green, and right now they're not even showing up to the party. So it just shows you how inaccurate Fibonacci's can be. The ISIS system just doesn't even want to lay down the Fibonacci line, so it's doing its own statistical forecast right now with regard to Ethereum. But we will see those in other charts here as you get to see, and I'll point them out. So again, what we've seen is Ethereum come up, max out to the pixel right on the forecast line that the ISIS has laid down for us. So we rejected on that, fell back down to the next AI line. So where are we going from here? So we're back inside of the, well, we never really left, but we're back inside, firmly inside of the channel. So we are kind of rocking around here on this area, rejected by that. So we're kind of basically right within that little encapsulation there. I have no problem telling you we're going to bust out of that. No problem at all. And I'll tell you why. Because our alligator indicator, this green, is rolling over. And that signals what? Down. So that's our lead indicator we always like to use. The alligator is the green over red over blue. When green is under red and blue, that means it's a bad day in crypto land. So it's going to be heading back down here pretty soon. Our MACD and our RSI are rolled down. They are in the red mode, so basically down, down, down. So there's three. So now the other thing we want to look at is we want to look at our Bollinger Band or our Bollinger Cloud, which is this ghosty green bubble that's right here. And usually anytime it's expressed in an open, spread out manner, that means that it's making an explosive. Like you can see it was compressed right here, and all of a sudden it flared and this thing jumped. Well, we're recompressing, which means we're spooling up again for another move. Now when it opens up again, it's already in red mode, so it's going to go down. So it's going to go further down, further down, further down. Now, ISIS has already given us an indicator where it's going to go, so we're watching the bottom of this channel. So what I would suspect is going to happen is we're probably basically going to walk around a little bit. We're going to interact with this a little bit, and we're eventually going to find our way back down into the bottom of the channel and continue on with the negative movements the whole market is making. So a lot of you guys always pop in on the Discords, and we're glad to have you as part of what we do over there. By the way, thank you to all the members, and glad to meet all the new guys that have joined us this week. So it's been just explosive growth, and it's thrilling to see the amount of people that apparently they're talking about me on some of the telegrams. Evidently, too, I'm getting word that. Religion of the Magic Chicken Bones. I got to tell you about the inside joke here. So we lovingly group members, old school group members, and I have long referred to this by this chart as the Magic Chicken Bones. It's kind of our inside joke. So if you hear any reference to the Magic Chicken Bones, we're referring to the AI system, ISIS. So it's just kind of a long-running joke that just never seems to have any end. But anyway, so to that point, sounds like the Magic Chicken Bones, the religion of the Magic Chicken Bones, is starting to infiltrate other telegrams and other other Discords and stuff like that. And I'm not going to tell you that I'm not just totally digging that. So thank you very much for helping us spread the word and telling everybody about us. Bring them back. We'd love to be able to show them what it is we do here, because as the guys that are long-term viewers of this will tell you that if you've never seen a system like this, it is absolutely jaw-dropping to be able to predict, and we're going to show this over and over and over again tonight. I'm going to show you all the hits that were hit within the last 24 to 48 hours. It's absolutely jaw-dropping. All right. So anyway, we're waiting for Ethereum to roll down, and so without any delay here, let's go ahead and get to some predictions that have played out. All right, so XRP is kind of a class favorite. We like to chart this. So what's a ping? So ping is our again, another little inside joke. Ping is the sound of a golf club hitting a golf ball perfectly. I used to live across the street from a golf course, and I used to hear ping, 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 ping all the time. It's kind of stuck in my mind. So we just kind of use that as kind of like a confirmation. I told you so, just kind of thing. So I have been watching, stayed up late last couple nights ago, and I forecasted every single drop that was made on XRP, and you can see the sheer number of calls. Let's go all the way back here for you guys that are new on live stream. So every time I do a red arrow, that means that we're convicted on it, trade on it. So there was a call, hit it. There was a call, played out. Basically, when ISIS will drop a line, usually it'll play out anywhere from 3 to 5 days, usually about 3 days. But sometimes these go in and you go, oh, well, maybe I missed that one. But then it'll double confirm, and then we'll hit it. So these lines, we have a saying in the group: never doubt the Magic Chicken Bones. Sooner or later, it always comes to pass. And this is really not that big of a spread, well within the wheelhouse of what we can come to expect from ISIS. So that was only a 2-day 17-hour call. So that's quite well within the wheelhouse of what happens. So you guys will verify that's something we see an awful lot. So I threw in some more calls here. So I said we're going to hit this one. Sure enough, we hit them, and we just ping, ping, ping all the way down. So we had 5 calls in a row that were hit as I was on live stream with a lot of the guys that were watching. I was live chatting with the guys that were in the Discord, and I was telling you, okay, we're going to hit this one. Then it fell and we hit it. And I said, then we're going to go down to here. And then it fell and hit it. And I just kept calling it all the way down, all the way down. And these guys were like, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. You just keep calling it to the pixel, to the pixel. So it's always fun to do that. You know, confirmation to demonstrate this system in action is really, you know, put your money where your mouth is. And either it happens or it doesn't. And it absolutely does happen. So here was the last one before I went to bed. I called this one. I said, okay, here's one. We're gonna point for the fence. We're gonna point to the upper deck on this one. And I said, this is where we're gonna go with this. And then I went to bed. And we woke up. We hit the bottom of the channel, of course, channel call. And then we fell and we hit it. Ping. Exactly. Not a little bit. Exactly. And then it bounced up again, and then it dropped down to the next AI line, came back up, rode inside of the thing, and I was not awake during this part. So I woke up to see this morning. However, I told you guys, this is completely to be expected. Now, I'll tell you where we can expect it to go from here. Now that I am awake and obviously paying attention to what's going on, we can see that this is rolling over. Now, I had told you guys, some of you guys in private chat, some of you guys, I believe, on the last live stream, I told you I do not expect this thing to breach this purple line. And I also went so far as to say I would not be surprised if we don't even make it, but at worst, the purple line would be about, but I kind of indicated that right about here is where I expected a rollover. So to a little surprise, that's exactly where we're getting it. And the reason why is because we have a lot of confluence right here. We have a lot of historical support and resistance. But this purple line for me was pretty much the make or break. If we pierce this and just took off like a bat out of hell, party's over, things are starting to turn around. But I really didn't seriously expect that was going to happen. So this comes as no surprise to me to see this. So really what we got to be doing is concentrating on watching this, and we can see that the green alligator is starting to roll into red, soon into blue, and we're going to be right back in the party. Now let's go back and take a look at the broader perspective on this thing. Again, does that look bullish to you at all? At all? Does that look bullish to you? It's following along. Let's just go ahead and steal that and drag her on down here. It's following along a quite believable channel. You can see we're reacting in the half channel. We fall, and I got a lot of garbage here. I realize that, but we are inside of a very believable expanded channel, the top part of an expanded channel. So ain't no thing. We're not going up, still going down. So we're still holding tight. Now, you guys, you send me messages all the time. Listen to me. I am not backing down on my call of 22 to 25 cents. I'm not backing down on my call of 22 to 25 cents. That stands until I come out and emphatically tell you the party's over. We ain't going to make it. Things are changing. Something has changed. There's been a change in the matrix or whatever. 22 to 25, I'm standing on it. That's what I'm seeing as far as the statistical analysis that Anubis is putting out is getting stronger and stronger, as a matter of fact. And so as I'm looking at that, I'm saying that really the odds are stacked kind of highly against missing those target areas. So for right now, 22 to 25 stands as an XRP target call. So hang tight. Party's not over yet. Roller coaster hasn't come to a complete stop. So keep your arms and legs inside the ride at all times. A lot more whoop-de-doos to go, guys. All right, so as long as we're on XRP, let's go ahead and go down to the other X-Twin, which is XLM. So again, same thing. The call that I put in, ping, not a little bit, exactly right to that. So again, here's another one. So this is mocking exactly the same trajectory here. You know, we're getting that false pump. We're capping out on the AI line. We're starting to lose. We're rolling red. We're in red. We're depressed right here. Our Bollinger Band is compressing. So, and again, let's back off and look at the narrative. This one's even prettier, even more probable. Does that look bullish to anyone? Not at all. Definitely not to me. Definitely not to me. What we've got is a very concentrated move, and eventually we're going to break out of this. Now, guys that look at TA that don't understand where we're at in the market, they're going to go, well, at any minute we're going to break up. No, 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 no. Many reasons why not. But again, let's get back to the psychology of the market. Talked about, if you guys are new to the live stream, love to have you be a subscriber, like and subscribe. We'd love to have you do that. But spend some time kind of perusing our past content, and you'll see how often that I am right. One thing I do want to discuss with you, though, and I do want to bring up is go ahead and listen to our Monday night tech chats, which feature Red Bear, one of the folks that's a moderator in our Discord, and he's also a member of FibbyCharts.com. And he's our resident crypto expert as far as like the tech side. And we had a talk on one of the crypto chats, which, by the way, are on Monday nights, so tune in for that. We've got another one coming up here very, very soon. As a matter of fact, tomorrow night, as a matter of fact. And we'll be discussing a few other things. But we talked about something called a Wyckoff event. And a Wyckoff event is a Wyckoff formation is basically an orchestrated event by which they pump up the market and then they rug pull. They pump up the market and they rug pull. And it can be calculated, tracked, traced, and actually demonstrated to be happening. And this was devised by a gentleman by the last name of Wyckoff. Coincidence, of course, I'm sure. And he basically tracked this. He said, listen, the market goes up and then it goes down and then it goes up. And he has this pattern that he uses. And you can overlay that on top of the current activity that's going on and go, well, I'll be damned. Look at that. Look at that. It's not as random as I thought. And it certainly isn't. I don't want to go over this again on live stream tonight, but about every 5-10 times I always kind of like to re-educate the new group that comes in and stuff like that. But understand that this is all completely manipulated. There is absolutely nothing organic about what you're looking at here. It's tracked, it's traced, it's planned. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to make these calls that are hitting with such statistical probability. Up there in sometimes as high as 90%, 92, 93% accuracy. Can't do that if this is a random market. And the reason why is because our AI bots are sniffing out these probabilities, and they're starting to do a little forensic analysis as to the manipulation, and they've got the number of these crypto exchanges. So these guys may be doing their level best to make this look organic, but our bots would beg to differ, because we're predicting these moves with a higher and higher degree of accuracy as we go along. I'm sitting next to a server with over 100 terabytes of information that would beg to differ as to the random nature of the market. So, okay. So anyway, as far as where we're at with XLM, down. We're still going down. So again, I'll go ahead and give you this because you guys already know where we're at. So I kind of give you a safe window of where I think we're going. Now, that is by no means a call. It's just a road sign on the road to hell. Yeah, we'll do Adam here in a little bit. I'll go ahead and get Adam for you, Dana. 19.5 is a conservative call. 16 is a pretty middle of the road call. We could see this plummet all the way down to probably 11.5 cents. If it tracks and follows the momentum of XRP, dollar percent to dollar. If XRP falls to 22 to 25 cents, then that would rightly put XLM, which operates at a fraction of a price of XRP, should theoretically knock it right down to about 11 to 12 cents, right in that range. So, just want you to be aware of that. Now, when does that happen? Soon, very soon. This is not going to go on forever, guys. It's just not. I know it sucks. This SEC thing that's going on, without kind of sidelining the charting for this evening. I'm not going to get into storytelling as I usually do, but without sidelining it too much, this XRP thing is a narrative designed to help you put reason to what you think is going on. Make no mistake about it. I deal with bankers on levels that are well beyond the average pay grade. I'm associated with them. I'm best friends with them. And good evening, Ronaldo. Glad to have you. You're late. But I hear how they think, and I hear their plans. And they knew where they wanted this long ago. So the SEC doing what they're doing, great. That's what you want to think is keeping the prices down. Then explain to me what SEC lawsuit against XRP has to damn thing to do with Bitcoin's current price. Please explain that to me. Explain to me why Ethereum should matter at all. The current price of Ethereum should matter at all to anything that's going on with Ripple. The reason why is because the entire market is manipulated, and you have to see it for what it is. All right. So Chainlink, I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to start covering Chainlink a little bit more just because I know a lot of you guys follow. So we still got the calls. We're still waiting, but we are trending very much in the vicinity of that. So we probably here not before very much longer. Actually, that target right there got hit, and then it got hit right here. So this is a double confirmation. So we're basically waiting for that, and it's not a matter of very much longer before we get it. That's a 35% drop, which is about what I expect this market's going to come down. So not going to be very long before we do that. So I was looking at Digibyte. I've been kind of watching Digibyte with interest because I know a number of you guys, some of the diamond level subscribers. There's like 2 diamond level subscribers that have just taken a powder and exited the market. Good on you for doing it because, you know, this one, when things get bad, this one's going to get worse. And I hate to see any of you guys lose your money and get drugged down to the bottom. Pump full of hopium. You're better off, in my opinion. We don't give financial advice on this channel, nor do they on the website. But I'm of the mind that to hold this thing in a market like there's probably 1,000 other places you could put your money with better likelihood of upshot. Even if you're selling at a loss right now, you can turn around and recapture much more profit. It's God only knows when this thing is going to moonshot. But you know, as for me, I have held this thing for 6 months, and I finally got out of it last summer. I've had enough. So we're waiting for a move to the bottom of the channel, and we're going to get there. We're already rolling. If I go in on the micro, we're already hitting a level, same level we're hitting with all the other crypto. You can see there it is. There's that same familiar formation. You know, if we were to move our channel down, that channel would be running right across the top of that. So you tell me this is the same formation XRP's got. You tell me, what has Digibyte got to do at all with XRP lawsuit? Nothing. Then explain to me why we've got the same formation. Because that's what's going on in the market. That's what the exchanges want everybody to do. They think it's a random formation. It is not a random formation. These things are all computer operated and computer manipulated from point A to point B to point C. Occasionally they'll let the humans take over, but they'll snap it right back where they want it on those time markers. And that's what these up-down lines are. When it gets to one of these lines, it decides, are we too far away from the master goal or not? It makes a correction, lets go of it, lets the humans play with it a little bit, gets to another time pulse marker, decides, are we too far off of the master goal? Yes, no, maybe, makes a correction. And you see that happen here, and here, and here, and here, and here. You can see it. Let me zip in on this. Right here at this time pulse marker, right here, you'll notice it went down a little bit. Not down enough to make much of a difference, but once we get to the next one, we're going to see another move, and another move, and another move. And that's just how these things work. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at one that is definitely on my radar, because a lot of you guys are starting to wonder, you know, what's going to happen with Theta? Is Theta finally going to start breaking up? Well, not looking like it, is it? I told you guys that watch the channel. If we break out of the channel, something's going to happen. Well, something did happen. I have this thing called lower. Now, this is kind of an interesting call to make because people are like, well, you missed the call. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. This is very common because this move is what we call a velocity move. I'll have to kind of go back and reteach some of you guys that are doing the live stream. This distance is absolutely going to happen, and I'll tell you why. Because what it is it's picked up off of right here, and this is a standard TA move. So let me put this back here real quick, and I'll explain what an opening and a closing move is for you guys that are new to the live stream. Computers have OCD. Basically, what they do is they'll do something, they'll go along, and then they'll undo it again. You've seen this formation many times. You've also seen this formation. You've also seen this formation. What you don't realize you're looking at is you're looking at an opening move and a closing move. You're looking at an opening move and a closing move, or something like that. This distance has to be replicated. You start a process, you end a process. Let me go back in this. Let me go back in this chart. I'll demonstrate this exactly so that you can see it. So you could say, let me go back here just a little bit. Let me see if I can find a really good one to really dial it in for you. So this one right here, there's a move. Okay. So if we go along here, we're going to be able to find, in not too far, we're going to be able to find that exact move. Voila, right there. So what that is this move going into chop, and then dropping again. That's just how it is. That's not the most cleanest example, but there are times when it's very, very obvious. But you just have to have a trained eye to be able to do pattern recognition and stuff like that. Let me get that out here and see if I can find a little bit better. I don't want to go down too far down the rabbit hole here and start getting off point. But what you can see is anytime that there's a certain move, it has to be undone. So, for example, here's the move right here. So I'm expecting it's going to close. Now, this has to play out. It has to play out. That's just how these things work. And so what you're seeing here is a little jiggle that what's very common on a closing move when the market is trying to screw with you is it'll run it down 50% of what should happen and then it'll reverse direction. So this doesn't really surprise me all that much. Now, what you'll see following that is possibly this move could continue and go right on down. It could probably go from about here to here. And I'll tell you, if I'm being at all honest, I would probably revise my call down to this line right here. But make no mistake about it. This is a matter of just finding this move and plugging it into the grid. And currently, with where we're at right now, I really like that because we're coming down to this AI line. Once we break this AI line, let me zoom in on this so you know what I'm talking about here. This AI line right here that we're seeing, that's an automated intelligence line. When we get past this line, which it looks like we're going to be doing here pretty soon, we're wandering just slightly away from the 200 EMA. So we got a lot of downside potential before this thing snaps back up. So could we go from the 200 EMA down to the tip of this arrow and not violate being too far, about 15% wander away rate is what I kind of call it. Could we go from here to here? Yeah, this is only 16.5%. That's nothing. We can do that easy. So do I believe that we could drop down here to this AI line here down at $7.28? Yep, I'd put my money on it actually. I would absolutely put my money on it. Now, would I put my money on it for an investment purposes? No, because I believe the rest of the market's going down further. So this is by no means is the end of the blood and guts. Make no mistake about that. So what this is just basically a signpost on the road to hell. It's not the final. You'll know the final. I'll be on live on live stream, telling you when it's going to happen. However, I just want to demonstrate again and again and again the accuracy of this system. So you can sit here and just go, son of a bitch, he was right again. Nothing like a good I told you so, guys. And I have so many of them. I'm sorry, it's just my ego. I'll call it what it is. I love it when I love to be right. All right. So anyway, as far as that goes, so let's make a little bit further case for the possibility of this. So this is another thing too. Why? What's so special about this AI line? Well, this line, let's go over here, has confluence again and again and again and again and again. So we see and more and more and more. So we see a lot of interactivity with this particular AI line, not a Fibonacci. That's just statistical averages of drop zones. So what we're really doing is we're suggesting, or what the AI is suggesting is we could drop or rise to any one of these lines. It's on us to basically stitch together the logic and the technical analysis and the guts and the markets and all the other stuff like that we see and say, is it likely we'll fall to here or here or here? And so that's what I do is I am the head chicken bone reader. I am the head tea leaf reader. I'm the head voodoo master, whatever the hell you want to call me. You guys got all kinds of terms for me, but nonetheless, basically, I'm taking my intuition, my gut reactions, classical TA combined with a lot of other things, and I'm saying, yeah, there's absolutely, and this is why this is so easy to do, is because you can just say, listen, it's got to go here, it has to go here, based upon all the past movements, which is standard, everybody can figure that out, based upon what the computer is saying to a high degree of accuracy. This is where we're going, unquestionably. So $7.26 is the next stop down. So I'm getting a lot of messages here on my DM, so you guys want to know. So if you guys want to subscribe to these charts and be able to get in on it, just join them at fibicharts.com, F-I-B-I charts.com, and you can subscribe to these charts. They do have the live. They have, I do. They pick up off of my work, and they they do have these things categorized and analyzed, and basically you can subscribe to the charts by just simply going to fibbycharts.com and just go to the subscribe and just find the package that works for you. Most of the guys, if you guys are trading with over $5,000, probably you'll find a home in the gold package. If you're working with over $7,500 to $10,000, you'll probably find yourself a little happier in the platinum. So I don't want to see you guys overbuy something. I mean, it's not my place to tell you what's right for you. If you guys are small timers, nothing wrong with being a small timer. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But you guys want to just get your first taste of this. We see this all the time. People that get in, they want to see if this, am I really for the real deal? Does this really work? And within days, they're upgrading from bronze to gold or whatever. I've seen that happen I don't know how many times. I've seen it actually happen 3 times today. And so, but that's fine. If you want to test it out and see if I'm full of crap or not, then I'll put my money where my mouth is. Or actually, it's not my money, but I'll put my reputation where my calls are. Let's just say it that way. But I'll make a believer out of you real quick, real quick. All right, so T-Fuels again. T-Fuel, before I get off that thing, so you guys that are in, we've had probably about 3 or 4 people from smaller countries. Had a gentleman from South Africa. I don't know if he's in here or not tonight. Mr. Howard, if you are, welcome, brother. Glad to have you. Glad to hear you're making some money down there. Does my heart really good to be able to, it's always fun to have you guys come in at gold, platinum, diamond levels. You got millions of dollars you're making. It's easy to take money and make money. It's not so easy to be a potato farmer in a third world country. Take the last money you got and plant your magic beans and watch your beanstalk grow. I mean, nothing more satisfying than that. And Mr. Howard is a subscriber that just came in, and he subscribed to their charts over there at fibbycharts.com. Got in on the Discord, followed a few calls, and some of my moderators have been chatting with him. I don't know exactly where he is, but last I heard, he did something like 400%. Am I correct in my belief? One of my moderators, correct me if I'm wrong. I remember hearing something like a 200 or 300% return on his money quickly. I can't remember what it was, but something to that effect. We've got a couple folks in the Philippines. Same thing. I used to live in the Philippines, so that's I have a special tie to that country, and it's always fun. But no matter where you are, it's great to hear you guys are coming in. A couple high school students. I know Zach. He's in here. Zach's recently graduated high school. Good on you, young man. You got a brilliant future ahead of you. Don't screw it up. And so we've got a couple of young guys that are in the group that are behaving themselves and listening to us old farts talk about money, and they're learning, so that's cool. But no matter what level you're at, no crypto trader left behind. That's my motto. I don't care what level you're at. I'm going to treat you with the same amount of respect that I treat the multi-million-dollar people that are a member of our group. So, yeah, Howard's up 30%. What was that, less than a week? He's up 40% in less than a week. Go tell your stockbroker you made 40% less than a week and you did it to some guy talking on the internet. He's going to look at you like you're a friggin' nut. Yes, but he's right all the time. Yeah, he turned $70. That's really the nuts and the bolts of it. He turned $70 into $500. Now, I know a lot of you guys are like, what's that? Well, to Mr. Howard, that's his entire net worth. I mean, that's insane, man. I mean, the dude just voted himself a lifestyle pay raise from $70 to $500. We've had a couple of guys that have come in and said, listen, my house burned down, lost everything. Some tribesmen came in and basically wiped out everything I owned, and you saved my life, RB. RB is Red Baron. Everybody calls me RB. You saved my life, and this is why I do what I do for free on air. I don't need to be on YouTube. I get a lot of crap from people who have no business in this, and I've had a few people like, well, so you're a financial analyst. I am I am analyzing from crypto. Okay, it's America. I can do that. Are you handing out financial advice? No, I am not handing out financial advice. What I'm doing is I'm charting publicly, and people are noticing that I'm pretty damn right. And they're moving their own money, and they're making their own decisions based upon that. That's what I'm doing. End of sentence. And, and I will not stop that. All the critics that don't like what I do, that want to try and find bad in it, they can go straight to hell. they can go straight to hell. Because when I hear stories about somebody like Mr. Howard or whatever, I could not give a rat's ass less what a lawyer thinks, or what somebody who just has an axe to grind for somebody else thinks. We're putting good in this world, and we're going to continue to do that. So as long as I keep hearing stories about people that are changing their lives, buying their dream cars, paying off their student loans, paying off their houses, going on vacations they never, for the first time in their lives, going on vacation, being able to have the free time to live their lives the way they want to live because of something that I did for free. Try and stop me. Just try and stop me, because I'm not going to do it. All right? Yeah. All right. So anyway, back to T-Field. So where are we seeing T-Field? So, excuse me, I've been talking. I was teaching crypto class here earlier today, so my voice is already trashed. You know when I'm talking a lot, when I have to clear my throat a lot, because it's just, I talk probably 7 hours a day, and it just goes on and on and on. All right, so should be, but not right away. So this is kind of a pending call, so I don't want you to get the feeling that this is a move up call just yet. I do expect this, and actually this should be a gray call, actually. Matter of fact, gray means basically it's coming, but not right away. So I do expect a downward call. So you can see, let's go ahead and look at this. We have some potential downward pressure still for T-Fuel. I don't believe T-Fuel is probably going to take the tumble that the rest of the market is. And I believe Mr. Howard got in on T-Fuel, as a matter of fact. So let's go ahead and pull tape here on this and see where we might be able to fall. And this is the thing about channels, is they're just kind of a theoretical. But as I see it here, just generally looking at this, we have a lot of mid activity. Let me dial that down just a little bit here. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, I've got some ginger tea in my kitchen. I just got off of Amazon. I'm going to try and do something with that here, hopefully tonight. I hate tea. Tea is like leaves strained through a garbage bag. Ugh. It must be good for me because it tastes like crap. I don't like it. So anyway, back to the channel. So the channel, we're basically interacting with the mid-level of the channel. So as long as we stay inside of this channel, we'll probably trend higher, but I don't see any kind of jump up, in, out, or whatever. So watch this channel. But if once we make a move out or up, then it's going to be on. But I don't expect that we're going to be seeing any kind of great bust up, breakout to the positive side anytime soon. So. All right, there's your Atom. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. So Atom, I'm a big believer in Atom. I just don't talk about it on live stream very much. I think Atom is going to say, here's your call. We're waiting for this. This is a pretty outrageous call, but I'm expecting it. So Atom is not really doing anything. It really, honestly, if you want to look at it, it's kind of, well, I can't get it on a microfilm, but generally here's the feeling that I have on this. It's pretty much just kind of going downward. I wouldn't call it in a channel necessarily, but we can go ahead and put it on a channel. So you can see we have a lot of mid. We're kind of in that non-committal, not quite out of the channel, not quite to the lower part of the channel. Again, a lot of these are going to share the same characteristics between every single crypto. Is pretty much going to be following the same narrative. So again, what I just told you for T-Fuel, I can tell you the same thing for Atomic or for Atom. I'm not expecting anything life altering other than just a continuation downward, and we're still seeing that. So I expect probably down here we'll be working our way down here. But so what the 21st is. Well, we're only 24 hours until we're deep in the thick of what I suspect will be worse. Realistically, not saying it's going to happen, but I'm not saying I wouldn't expect it or be surprised by it. In the next 12 hours, what could happen, should happen, this is strictly my gut speaking here, not based upon any technical analysis, just my experience with the market and what I've observed over the last few years of crypto. Sundays, people always say, well, not much happens on Sunday. I'm like, where you been? Sunday is probably one of the worst days for violent market moves. I can't point to too many Sundays that are not, to be very honest. So if we're looking at it from that perspective, I can remember probably more Sundays than not when I stay up late until about 11, 12 o'clock at night. And I'm like, this is why I don't get any sleep. I mean, I woke up at 3:30 p.m. today because I was up until 5, 6, 7 in the morning last night or this morning. And so I'm probably going to do it again tonight. I'm going to be on the late shift. And so watching it because I expect probably in the next 12 hours, we're going to see the snowball pick up some more speed. And by snowball, I mean the entire crypto market going down. We have to have, let's just use some common conspiracy theory, common sense or whatever you want to call it. Let's talk about what we haven't had. What haven't we had? What we've had is a lot of downturn. What haven't we had? We haven't had any ridiculous spikes. I mean, really ridiculous. I'm talking market wide. Oh my God, just up, down, whatever. We haven't had one of those. Don't you think we're ready for one? So theoretically, we are long past due for some really bad hammer event. Could happen in the next 12 hours. I'm not saying that it's going to. I'm not saying I see any data to support that. But the evidence against it is diminishing because we do see that. We have the market goes along. I mean, it's been following a pretty tame move down. I mean, this is not the best chart to illustrate that. But I mean, there's nothing violent about this. This is just general course of business. When are we going to get that really bad, gut-wrenching drop that takes us down 25-30%? As I told you, I'm expecting a 25 or a 30 to 35, 40% drop. We could do it. If we go back and look at in flash crash, yeah. If we look at, we haven't had a flash crash for a long time, and so the odds are stacking up by the minute, by the hour, by the day, in favor of that happening. Because we all can pretty much agree that those do happen, and they're like earthquakes. You can't predict them, but they happen, and they're going to happen. You just don't know when. And you prepare for them. Hopefully, one of the guys was telling me. I think it was Red Bear was telling me one of his buddies used. I think he used my chart, and he he picked a target based upon the ISIS charts. He put it in for, and then I don't know what happened with XRP, but he ended up getting a fill. There was like a flash drop on XRP, and he ended up getting a fill at like, what was it, 22, 25 cents, something like that. So he already got filled. Oh, how crazy is that? But he was using the charts with my predictions on him, and he got filled. So good on you, man. He's already in crazy-ass profit. He's already up 300%. So, but that's an anomaly. That's not what we're talking about. I'm talking about market-wide manipulation drop. Real, planned, orchestrated, think it's going up. But here's the thing. We're not going to get that until we get a fake pump up to get everybody all it's going to get better now. Okay, I can buy back in the market. Rug pull, got you again, and that's what a Wyckoff event is. All right, so let's look at VeChain. So again, we'll go ahead and talk about this here. So you guys that are new to the live stream, love to have you be a part of what we're doing, the unfairadvantage.chat. Please join us at our free Discord. Oftentimes I'll give away free calls and stuff like that. You don't have to subscribe to FibbyCharts.com if you don't want to, if you don't have the money, or if maybe you just want to kind of get in, see the success that the people that are subscribing to those charts over there are getting. And I think you'll sell yourself. You don't need me to do it. But if you want to join us over at the unfairadvantage.chat, please do so, because we're going to be giving away 5,000 VeChain to some lucky winner. And all you got to do is just be a member of the group. And if you are a member of a group, you're instantly qualified to win. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a drawing on July 1st of this year. And that's coming up here not too long from now. What is it? 10 days from now, we're going to be picking somebody. But you got to be a member. You got to be an active member, or just at least basically be a member. Don't be a zombie sign up. We don't need those. We want people to be a part of our ever growing community and really participate. Because if you're truly call yourself a crypto investor, then you have no reason not to be amongst us and learning and using the very best tools that are available anywhere in the industry. If I do dare say so myself. But for that, we're actually going to be giving away 5,000 VeChain to somebody, and we're going to be picking that on July 1st. So make sure that you like and subscribe and join us and be here for that. All right. All right, so back to VeChain. So VeChain right now is looking like, even if you don't win, is looking like a pretty good bargain. So it actually was, there's a call that was made, hit it perfectly. So these are the calls this is how we do a call. What I do is I look, I say, okay, here's a potential for a drop, and in a matter of time, it drops, we hit. And I don't always look at these charts every single day. That's why you don't see arrows every pulse. But when I look at something, I see there's something to be had. I rotate my calls amongst different, but nonetheless, the calls are always there. So some of these I'll make 20, 30 days in advance. But I put this out and I said, I expect, that's a pretty crazy, ignoring that part. I mean, when you're looking at this, and for me to say, yeah, we're going to come clear down here, that's a pretty crazy call to make. But shortly, and I do mean shortly, a matter of 14 hours later, we fell. How far was that? We fell 9%. 9%. Damn near 1/10 of the value of this coin on that call to that line. Exactly like I told you it was going to happen. And this is not unusual. This is not unusual. If you guys are subscribers to the charts, if you guys are members of the Discord, you see this stuff happen almost. Well, you do. You see it every single day. Every single day. Sometimes 5, 6, 7, 10 times a day. We just had a series of these things that just ping, 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 one right after another. It's very gratifying, very funny for me to sit here. We have about 10 members that are like, oh my God, another one, and another one, and another one. They're filling up our Discord, just laughing by. What's funny is somebody made a comment. And they said, the rest of the market is freaking out right now because they're like, oh, Jesus, what's going on? The market's dropping and it's falling in the toilet. And we're the only ones that knew about, accurately how far in 2 weeks in advance that this was going to happen because I'd been telling you it was going to happen. And so a lot of these guys are posting that, I used to be a nervous wreck before signing up. And now I don't worry because I know, if you're calling it, it's likely going to happen. So that's pretty awesome to be able to give that reassurance. And so, I will always do my very best to be able to make those calls and be accurate. If I miss them, I'll own up to it. You can chastise me. I deserve it. But you don't get that chance very often, do you guys? I see you got a question here. Let me go back in the chat here and see. You don't see my call on VeChain? No, I don't have a bottom call on VeChain because I'll tell you, I don't always necessarily give away. Here's the truth of the matter. I mean, this is a YouTube video. It's done for free. The folks at Fibby Charts, they do good work putting that site together, and they deserve to be paid for what it is they do. And so obviously, I'm not going into Kentucky Fried Chicken giving away, Colonel Sanders' recipe. You know what I'm saying? And so you got to kind of keep a little bit behind, a little bit mystery to those that pay for the privilege kind of thing. Love to be able to share my talents with you guys. But again, as I said, if you guys are watching the live streams or watching this going, okay, I'm going to invest according to watching what I see on YouTube, what you're doing is you're predicting tomorrow's forecast using yesterday's newspaper. Don't do that because the calls that I make on live stream can be changed sometimes as many as 5, 6, 7 times a day. They can be updated, expanded, added, notated, subtracted, changed, probabilities change. You have to be subscribed to the charts in order to get the most current information, obviously. If you want to know what the weather forecast is today, you go and you get today's forecast. If you want to know what it's going to be like tomorrow, you look at today's, and according, the closer we get to the event, this is very much like a weather forecast. If you look at on Monday and you look at Friday's forecast and they're telling you it's going to be sunny, come about Wednesday, you're starting to see clouds in the same forecast. You're like, well, what the hell And that's the same thing as with this. So my forecast is accurate to a point, and then I revise, and that's my job. Is what I do is I revise my forecast. So I always try to keep a tight window. But if something radically changes, where I'm expecting snow instead of sun, of course I'm going to tell you guys. But as far as VeChain goes, well, we haven't seen the bottom yet. Definitely not seen the bottom yet. I'm not understanding your not questioning. Let's see. If the flash crash is expected shortly, currently XRP silver chart doesn't have. Okay, I think I need to kind of probably explain this. You guys that are in whatever. Let's just talk about a specific chart, Bitcoin. In all charts over there at Fibby Charts, the Bitcoin chart, that diamonds, platinums, golds, everybody has access to the same exact information. So if there's notations on those charts, those are notations that are just there, this kind of stuff. Okay, I want to be very clear with you guys that are new. I do not give financial advice. I am never going to tell you it's time to buy. Okay, I am never going to do that, because I am not going to put myself out there for someone to say that I goaded them or encourage them to make a purchase, then they lose everything. Okay, as accurate as this is, we live in America, or I live in America, and America is a country full of whiny ass people that like to blame people for their mistakes because they don't fit in their big boy and big girl pants. And I will not paint a giant target on myself. Okay, love to be able to tell you. Now I'll show you the probabilities. It is your decision to pull the trigger. And anybody on YouTube will tell you exactly the same thing. I do not do bottom calls, because if I did and it went further, you're going to point a finger at me and you're going to say, well, I did, that's not the bottom. Okay. And then you're going to want to start blaming me for everything else that's wrong in your life. Your daddy didn't hug you enough or whatever. And so I don't want to be painting a target on myself for that. Now, what I will do is I will show you the probabilities. I will share my opinions. What you do with that is your own decision, okay? I want to be very, very clear about that. So anyway, I meant the 25-cent arrow. Which the system predicts is currently not in the chart. No, it's not. I mean, I'm just telling you. These arrows are something that I put in. As we get down, okay, to simplify this on the XRP, as we get closer to that target, I'm going to be making notations all the way down. Okay, so if you're subscribed to their charts, and if I'm making notations as we get close, there's not. If you're asking me if there's something clear down here already showing, no, not unless ISIS is throwing lines down there, because these bronze lines are very key and part and parcel to what I'm doing. I mean, this thing's really going out there quite a bit, but I have to have technical analysis. I have to have more information in order to. I have to have more information and more data the closer we get to that. Does that answer your question? I mean, I don't mean to push you back. I mean, I know you got a legitimate question, but you have to understand it's a fine line to walk. I mean, just after 30 years of business and seeing the most asinine accusations leveled at people that I know for just stupid shit, I'm not trying to go out of my way to bring any misery on myself. Yeah, and Barbarology brings up a point. Yeah, if you go back, you can see. I'm sorry, he probably that's probably. So you can go back and see if you scale back and you go back, you can see the calls that were made. I don't erase any of this stuff. So if you go back, you can kind of see the history on stuff. So that helps you a little bit. And again, the other thing is too, if I've made a call and you're a new subscriber, or if I've made a local call, not a bottom call, if I made a local call, I mean, I'll make these calls all day long, but I'm not going to tell you does it ever going to go lower than this? I'm telling you, yeah, it is. You can very clearly see I've got markers down here, but I'm not enough of me to go around to be able to specifically handhold everybody through their portfolio. Is 12,000 really going to happen? I answered that 3 times on last live streams, but I'll do it again because people are asking me about it. I'm not officially on the record as 12,000. I'm telling you it's probability. we don't need to discuss 12 till we see 25, correct? So we have to see, it's like walking. It's kind of like, just to be funny, if you guys have ever seen Indiana Jones, when he had to walk across that bridge, take the first step and the next will be revealed. And basically, you have to see the cards that are being dealt to you. I mean, I can't predict five hands of blackjack into the future. I got to play the hand that was dealt me right now. So that means this window right here, and then the next, and then the next. So. Right. If my voice is too low, turn up your player. I've got my mouth like right on the mic. I've got it up, jacked up 5 dB. So turn up your volume on your player. No problem, Dan. I'm not a bullshitter. I'll tell you that much right now, guys. I mean, if there's something I'll tell you, you know where I wear my heart, right on the sleeve. I want every one of you guys to do well. I mean, if I lived in a perfect world, if we all lived in a perfect world, I'd call you personally and say, hey, Dina, buy this right now. And a few of you guys are friends of mine, and I do that because we have a personal relationship. But I can't do that because this is the world we live in. So the liberal do-gooder, social justice warriors of this world have screwed up a good thing, and they really have. And it's sad, but it's true. So as far as where I see VeChain right now, basically we're just kind of waiting. Right now this is in kind of a no-call scenario. I believe effectively we're pretty much, let's go ahead and extend that out. Effectively we're waiting to kind of I want to see this get back down into this channel, I guess. That's about as far as I want to go with this right now. I have to be able to pick up some new readings to be able to plug them into the grid. So I know this is what it is. I mean, you can very clearly, this one's throwing off an even more bearish signal. So when we first started the broadcast, you notice we had kind of a little bit, you notice how we're dipping down? This one, some of these run a little faster, but they're all following the same formation. So if we were to go look at Bitcoin, we can see it's still up here, but this one's already showing where everything's going. So what's going to happen is we're likely to just kind of bleed out right back down into that, I would imagine. All right, so speaking of free calls, so this is one that I gave away for free as a call on just a general Discord. All you have to do is just be a member of Discord. And I wanted to help everybody that was in there, whether you subscribe to anything or whether you're not. I just want to see everybody have an equal chance to try and make some sort of money. So I had called, and I told you guys on the last live stream when we were up here that I expected this drop to come, and she did. She did. So we hit it perfectly. So again, we've got that bounce up. So we're kind of in a no-read situation. And by no-read, basically, I'm trying to infer as much from the data that I'm looking at here as possible and kind of give you something to chew on. But the real truth here is we're not into the next formation yet, which will probably take place around about here in the next 12 hours. By the time we get into the next formation, we're probably going to be screaming down into this box here and hitting this target. To be completely honest, this is probably about to come to pass, which would not surprise me at all. To come down about that far, which is going to be about 11-12% drop. Yeah. So and then further down. So we're going to be in this general area here before very long. So in the next 12 hours or so, if it's playing out the way that I suspect and very very sure is going to happen, we're going to be seeing drops here happen in the next 12 hours. And probably by the time you wake up in the morning, you'll be like, oh, damn it happened again. I'm not a proponent of selling at a loss. I ride through these lows as much as they suck. But I ride through the lows and stuff like that. I don't suggest that anyone else does. You do what you want to do. I'll do what I want to do. But I know the upside on all this stuff. I would rather be the type of person that just adds to my collection. I hate the term dollar cost averaging, but that's what it is. I would dollar cost average and just throw more new money rather than sell the money I got at a loss. Because when it turns and goes north and passes my current position, if I have one, and passes my current position, then there was no reason to sell. If I have new money added at the lower, then it just makes it all the sweeter on the way back up. But some of you guys, you're coming in very broken into the group. Man, I'm telling you, the amount of money that I've seen that has been lost before you guys have joined up to the Discord is just almost like enough to power a third world country. It's just unbelievable. So, somebody, as I was saying on the last live cast, I mean, one brother, man, he lost enough that he lost more money in one trade than it took me back in 1998 to purchase a 2-bedroom bungalow in the Midwest as my first house. Brutal, brutal. So I mean, it's still a pretty good chunk of change now in 2021, but damn. So don't want to see that happen. Do I see? It's a good question, Dana. Am I mispronouncing your name? Is it Dina or Dinah? I want to pronounce your name. I'll call you Dina. If I'm mutilating your name, pardon me. I don't mean to do that. Do I see a case? Zero chance. Zero chance. All right, you guys. Hang on just a second here. I want to open up another chat box so I can kind of read. I'm reading off of my ODB software here, so I'm not seeing all of your as accurately as I would like to. So hang on just a second. Let me open up a larger chat box so we'll talk a little theory here. Hold on just a second. Okay, so do I see, the question being is, do I see, let's go ahead and get on XRP while I'm talking about that. So you guys that are new to the live stream, just bear with me here because I do tell stories. I do kind of interact with my crowd a little bit, and I'll get back to the charts here in just a little bit. So just hang tight. We're going to talk a little theory here. So you guys who somewhat are new to the live stream, don't know who I am. I am a 35-year investor, 35-year manufacturer, investor, world traveler, raconteur, publisher, author, speaker, and just all-around neat guy. So, and I have a lot of experience in a lot of different areas, and one of them is I travel all over the world, partly due to my health, partly due to my relationships, and whatever. And so I've been to Africa, I've lived in the Philippines, I've been to the Congo, I've been to Hong Kong, I've been to Colombia, I've been many different places. So I see the movement of money around the world. So let me encapsulate this, and we'll get back to charts here. It will not lose. Point blank, I will put my life on that bet. It will not lose. Can't. And the reason why is this, because of what you guys know. I mean, you read a little bit, but what you guys know here in America is not the whole story as far as Ripple goes. I'll give you a few things that some of you guys will pick up on and probably heard but didn't really internalize. Are you aware that every major bank on the planet has a signed contract with Ripple? Do you think those folks just make those moves just because it sounds like a cool thing? Takes a lot. It's like, as I've explained, it's like a dinosaur moving. Takes a long time for that dinosaur to get moving, but once it starts moving, it does it with purpose. And no dinosaur is going to go jogging, to be funny about that. So when they sign contracts with Ripple, they are invested in Ripple. So Saudi Arabia, China, I don't give a crap what stories you hear publicly. Ignore them. They're not the truth. I'm going to have to tell this story again. So my ex-girlfriend, we just broke up because I've been trying to bring her over here from Nairobi for 14, 15 months, and it's just not happening. So they trade with something called M-Pesa. M-Pesa was the dream that was given. It was invented 1 year after Bitcoin. And as I've told you, this ties into Cardano being in Africa and stuff like that, but I'll kind of keep the explanation tight. So when I send money to my girlfriend to pay for whatever, if I were to do that, if I were to send her money, I would send her money by a company called Xoom, Xoom. And what that is that's a remittance transfer owned by PayPal, by the way. And what that is so I would effectively kind of give you this. I would log into Xoom. I would say, okay, I want to send my little sweetie like $10, let's say. Now, I would go into Xoom, and I would say, I want to pay my girlfriend $10. Where's she at? She's got a phone, and I've got a phone. Her phone number goes in, and my phone number goes into Xoom. And I'm telling you right now, I've seen this happen. It's absolutely blows you away. By the time I put in $10 and I hit the send button, I can't even lift my finger off of the button before I can hear over the phone the sound of blink. You just got your money. Now, what coin do you think can pull that little miracle off? Literally, as I send her money, I can hear the sound of you just got paid before my finger even leaves the keyboard. That's XRP. And so it's currently being used right now. Right now. So I don't give a rat's behind what PayPal tells you about Bitcoin or whatever. They're using it right now. Saudi Arabia. Is anybody going to doubt that the Saudis and the United Arab Emirates is a poor group of people that barely have any money to scratch together? Hardy har har. Are in so stinking deep with Ripple, it's not even funny. These guys, these Saudi princes, and I know this for a fact because I met a couple of them, these Saudi princes are so enamored by XRP. A lot of them are selling off their gold to go big. And so you're not going to get that news here. It's kind of, I won't say blocked, but it's not exactly touted in front of you. But if you really want to do a deep dive and verify what I'm telling you, go look up UAE's. They actually have people on staff in the government right now that their job is to interface with Ripple. Right now. So in short, here's the thing. Don't pay attention to what's going on right now in America. It is very, very, it's theater. Because here's what you really need to know about what is XRP. Some of you guys that are less money orchestrated don't really understand. You think this is just this weird banker coin. That's what you don't understand. Let me teach you what XRP really does. So let's go back to my sweetie. If in the old days, let's say this is 1980, and I want to send my little sweetie some money, and I want to send her $10. How would I do that? Well, I would go to Western Union and do that, of course, or I would go to my bank. So let's do this in the bank using the SWIFT system, which is the old school way of transferring money, which, by the way, will be wiped out by Ripple. It still exists, but not very much. So here's how this works. If I want to send, my girl lived in Nairobi, Kenya, in Africa. And so if I want to send $10 to my sweetie, let's just make it 100. If I want to send $100 to my sweetie in Africa, I have to go to my bank, ABC Bank here in America, and I say, I want to send $100. They say, okay, well, what is the SWIFT code? That's the code identifying the bank that she's going to pick up. So she's got, First Bank of Africa or whatever the hell she's at. So she's got her bank. She gives me her SWIFT code, and we do this. And so I pay the bank. The bank bends me over and strokes me for a very reasonable fee, and sends the money. And does it come immediately? Oh, not at all. Not at all. What's going on through the system? Through telex. My God, the most archaic system you can possibly imagine that doesn't even settle out for like days, sometimes, at least 24 hours. Basically, here's how the money really gets there. There's a thing called a liquidity pool that has to happen in every single bank. Let me strip this down so you're understanding it. So if I'm going to send money to my girl in Nairobi, my bank, my big bank of America, has to have a partner bank in her town that has a pool of money sitting there idly. All right, I want you to understand this exactly the way that this works. So let's say if I want to send money to her in Africa, let's say Union Bank in America. Union Bank has to have a bank in Africa that's partners with it, or an account with a bank over there that's got let's say $10,000 or $100,000 or $1 million sitting idly for just such an occasion to draw out of. So when I send $100 to my sweetie, it goes through this archaic system, notifies the bank that, hey, Union Bank's got that $1 million account over there in Africa just sitting there for just such an occasion. Take his $100 and give her $100 out of that. That's how it works. That's how it's always worked. So now, what does XRP bring to the table? What does Ripple bring to the table? What Ripple brings to the table is this. That does not exist anymore. There will be no more of those banks. Now imagine, that sounds fairly reasonable until you realize that's not the only place money gets sent. What if I have a girlfriend? What if I'm just a total cad and I've got 30 girlfriends and I've got to maintain, in different countries? my bank has to have an account in every single one of those, in the Philippines, in the Congo, in Hong Kong, in Africa, various places in Africa, and places on whatever, has to be all over. They have to maintain these dead accounts that aren't making them any money. So what Ripple does is it frees up all that dead money and brings it back home. So when that happens, that's going to open up everything from a banking standpoint. And I won't get into that tonight, but effectively it creates a stream of neutral currency between point A and point B with an agreed upon price, which we have not got to yet. And when it does, Bank A can say, okay, I'm sending X number of dollars over, and et cetera, et cetera. And then they'll just, okay, well, we'll reach into this common fund, and we'll just take it out of there. And if we want to exchange it back to fiat or whatever, that's how that works. And so what you must understand is all these $1 million debt accounts are going to free. That money's going to come back. And when it does, I won't get into the theories on what's going to happen when that does, but understand the trillions and trillions of dead dollars that are sitting in accounts all over the planet. That's no longer going to be a thing. Once they lift the veil and they light the fire on this, you've heard people say, someday they're gonna flip the switch. That's exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna flip the switch, and it's got to work like that. In stages of 3, 4, 5 times. When they flip the switch, you're going to know it. And since I'm on this anyway, you guys have heard these stories. Ripple's going to go to $10,000. Ripple's going to go to $35,000. I'm here to tell you right now, emphatically, believe it. Believe it. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I just made the case for it. So if you're holding a coin that you just bought at 25 cents and you're listening to this goofball on the internet right now tell stories and act like he knows what he's talking about, you're going to find out I'm a lot righter than you ever thought anyone you've ever talked to ever was. I've seen this stuff in play. I've seen it in work. I understand where it's going. I've spoke to very, very wealthy people that have more money than the entire group of listeners put together, many, many times over. And they're believing in it, and so I'm believing in it. So XRP is going to be, from a financial standpoint, the one above all. The one above all. And that's not the one above all coin that I talk about. It's an AI-powered coin. But from a financial standpoint, it's going to wrap around mortgages. It's going to wrap around bonds, stocks, liquidity, you name it, everything. And for those that hang on to it, your life will never be the same. Your kids' life will never be the same. Your grandkids, their grandkids. If you can manage to learn how to make it and learn how to hold on to it, nothing in your life will ever, ever, ever be the same. Point blank. All right, so back to business here. So Cardano's a little Africa story we'll talk about. So Cardano, related to that story, Cardano has decided to go to Africa to start rounding out its kind of getting its game together. Why is that? Because, as I said, I spent a good amount of time in Africa. I've stood in the red dirt. I've talked to the people. I've used the money. I've seen how things work over there. They are so far technically advanced ahead of us in the Western world that if your idea of Africa is Sally Struthers sitting in a dirt pile with kids with flies swarming around their eyes and stuff like that, let me tell you something. Let me tell you a few things about Africa you don't know. They like John Denver. They love country music. They have no problem with white people. They are the most well-mannered, sweetest people. And matter of fact, some of the all you gotta do is walk the streets of Nairobi, and you understand very, very quickly why supermodels come out of that part of Africa. They are not what you see in America is from an American perspective what you think you see. I mean, yes, they have impoverished areas, and there's manipulation and crime and stuff like that. But from a technical standpoint, they got us stomped, and that's why Cardano's going to Africa, because they're going where the technology is, where the labor is cheap, where the restrictions are little, and none of the American bullshit. When they come back, they're going to come roaring back as a powerhouse, and Polkadot and Neo and even Ethereum's going to go, what the hell? And they're going to be like, yeah. And so they're going to come back roaring back to the point where, when they come back, I can't give you public prices on that. I mean, I've got a pretty good idea what I'm expecting to see, but the prices we're seeing right now, I expect to see us dip to possibly one more time under $1, possibly somewhere in the neighborhood of about 95 cents, maybe a little bit lower, but you're never going to see those prices when Cardano gets serious about what it's doing. Never, never, never. So this call is still very valid. This is a $1.21 call, and of course, obviously, we've got a little sketch marker down here. Again, right here is where I'm basically saying I'm going to change this because it keeps getting pushed further to the left here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in right about. We'll just go ahead and put it right about there. I'm not going to give that away publicly, Bill. There's some things out of respect for the people that pay for the charts. I'm not gonna, I will do. Put it to you this way. You might be surprised. You might be radically surprised. Hang on a second. I'm gonna change this to a purple line here and fatten this up. So, because I keep referencing this line and I don't. There we go. Okay. All right. So that's going to be our drop line right there. All right. Yeah. So Cardano is just kind of like coiled right now. You can see. I mean, does that look bullish to anyone? So you can see there's that little kick up. I mean, we're not going up anytime soon. We're going down. We're still going down. Down, down, down. I mean, we'll have our up moments, but down, down, down. Cardano is not. I mean, just look at that. I mean, it's just been a whoop-de-doo slide to the pit of hell, pretty much since Coinbase listing for the most part. We had one upstroke, but then after that, it just went straight in the toilet. So I'm going to skip these two because, again, I want to kind of get through this pretty quick here. It's already 9 o'clock, and so I wanted to just basically kind of come on and tell you guys, brace yourself, because it's definitely the ride's not over yet. So you guys are just drifting in the stream. I see my numbers are going up and down. If you guys want to subscribe to the charts that I'm using, you can do that over at fibicharts.com, FIBI-charts.com. Just simply go to their website, and which looks like this. Just go there and just go to subscribe. And if you want to know what's available in the packages, just click Tell Me More. And I would suggest, if you're working with a modest amount of money, consider looking at least bare minimum gold, because gold is where everybody, if you kind of get in cheap, nothing wrong with that. But if you want to get in something that has a supported chat group that does have price calls, gold is where that starts, and there's more advanced price calls and more advanced stuff in platinum. There's more stuff to trade with and stuff like that. So go ahead and have a look around at the Tell Me More thing, and that'll pretty much tell you everything you need to know. Of course, obviously, if you're subscribed to the unfairadvantage.chat, we're going to be having a drawing on the 1st of next month. We're going to be giving away 5,000 VeChain to some lucky winner that's a member of our Discord. Don't need to buy anything, don't need to subscribe to anything. Just simply join us at the unfairadvantage.chat, and we're going to go ahead and from all that group, we're going to put some money in your pocket. We're going to put some crypto in your wallet. How's that? All right, so Zill. Thank you, Ronaldo. All right, so Zill's just teasing me, man. Ain't giving it to me. So that's expected. The market, it's still, again, look at this. We're just down. It's infuriating. I want this thing to just drop, damn it. It's just not doing it. We basically have a couple of lines we got to check off on, but I have no problem in saying that I think we're going to be hitting the top of the red box and then on in. So Zill, love you guys. I think we probably have about maybe, I don't know, 10, 15 people that are really just jonesing to get them some Zill, and I don't blame you, because I think it's a good project. I don't, I have to be honest, and I'll always kind of interject, because I want to make sure there's that, but there's also this thing over here. I always want to make sure you don't get one-itis and start paying attention to one crypto just because you like the logo or something. Zill is good. It's very good. Freestanding in its own, and it's an isolated conversation. I got no problem with it. But you got to remember, it's not a one-horse race. There's other horses. So you got to make sure that you're betting on the proper pony. Now, that being said, is this the pony that's going to outrun everything else? The answer is no. I can tell you that. No. If you want to buy 2 or 3 ponies, Zill might be in your stable. But if you want to get into a cheap coin, Zill would be in your stable. The question is how? What are your goals? Are you wanting quick turn money? Are you wanting good growth over time? I mean, you can't have your cake and eat it too in that respect. Sometimes you kind of can, but I mean, to plan and think you got that orchestrated and you're brilliant enough to pull that off, good luck with that. But I mean, if I'm comparing just say two cryptos offhand, if I'm comparing VeChain to Zill, Zill doesn't even leave the paddock because when you're looking at VeChain at its current price, and I'm telling you that Anubis, and I've said this publicly many times, our Anubis system is predicting anywhere from 36 to 48 months. We're looking at $7 on VeChain. You don't even belong looking at Zill, not at all, not at all. And the other thing is you have to kind of remember strength and the utility and use case. All right, let's talk about that. So Zill, great team behind it. It's a shop in coins, got some stuff going on for it, but by no means does it have the powerhouse usage and backing of major Fortune 500 companies that VeChain does. And VeChain has been recently adopted and integrated with DHL, third largest shipper in the world. That company ain't going out of business anytime soon. And if they put their fortune and their name and their time, again, that's a dinosaur. It takes a long time for that dinosaur to get up and start moving. Now that it has, it's decided to take a bite out of VeChain, and it likes what it sees. And so now it's kind of grazing in the VeChain ecosystem. And so that dinosaur is going to be loath to try and get off of VeChain. So once it's locked and loaded, and I told you about how China is adopting it for their manufacturing, it's an inventory controlled coin. The world has inventory. Lots and lots of it. It has a need. In my opinion, there may be other coins that do this sort of thing, but nowhere on the scale of VeChain, as widely adopted and it is easy to use, as cheaply priced and as plentiful as VeChain. So Zill versus VeChain, no competition. But you're going to have to wait for it. Z a little bit, 36 to 48 months. Now, make no mistake, it will be going up. I mean, it's not going to just be nothing for 4 years, and on a Thursday at 3 o'clock, this thing hits $7. It doesn't work like that. You will see it go up. What I'm saying is don't get stupid and sell it before the golden goose finishes laying all its eggs. Not going to surprise me that you'll double your money here probably by the end of this year. Not going to surprise me that by the end of this year you might be up 200, 300%. Certainly wouldn't surprise me. But does that mean you cash out? Hell no. Now, will VeChain I'm sorry, will Zill do that? Possibly, but not with I don't have the conviction that I have with VeChain. Okay. Now, compare both of those to XRP. Come on, please. So the thing is we have to get past this lawsuit with it. So you got to remember, there's more than one coin in the ecosystem, and you have to pick as part of being an adult investor and making good financial decisions. I'm here to kind of teach you how to make those decisions, not make them for you. And so I'm here to constantly remind you. No. There's one over here. What about this one? Look at this. Look over here. And so if you get one itis or two itis and you go, oh, I just really love this Solana. I do too. But it sucks compared to, what are you trying to do with it? Solana has been a very, very good performing coin, very, very good performing coin up against. But would I throw down, $100,000 on Solana going, I'm going to retire? You might, but not nearly as well as a VeChain or Zill or, XRP investor does. You know what I'm saying? So you got to remember that these things have their place, but they also have their potential. Okay, so I will forever be repeating myself about that because a lot of people need to hear it many times, and a lot of people have never heard it before. So that's kind of, you're hearing 30-some years of wisdom and a lot of money lost doing stupid shit. So just understand that I want you to make an educated decision. All right. So Zill. Now, again, to the other side of that, so does that mean we buy every damn coin that has potential and we just, say, I got a little bit of everything? Well, that kind of dilutes your potential too. I think the record now, I keep track, I think the record, had a gal come into the group recently. I won't name names or levels because I don't want to out her. She had 136 different crypto coins. Girl, what are you doing? What are you doing? And so... I just, we got to talk. We got to talk. So I said, okay, how much do you got? And it pardon me laughing because I'm not insulting anyone, but I ask him, how much of this you got? Well, I think I got. You think you got. You think you got. You don't know. That's a problem. That's a problem. Where are you storing this? Under your sofa cushions? I mean, you should know how much money you got. You should know. Keep your mind on your money and your money on your mind. You should be able to right off the top of your head. I got 175,000 XRP, or I got 10,000 Reef, or I got 180,000 XLM, or whatever it is. You should know that. If you don't know that, you got a problem. You got a problem, and I'll tell you why. Because when the market moves, and you don't know how much you got, and further, you don't know where to get it, how to access it, haven't took it, haven't really watched it, don't know what it's worth, can't remember what you bought it for. You got a damn problem. And, we talk about trade sickness all the time. This is investment sickness, just basically buying for the sake of buying. And so, I mean, you're pulling up to the buffet and just loading everything on your plate, and pretty soon, what do you end up with? You end up, your peas are in your mashed potatoes, and your steak is getting blood all over your carrots, and that's not good. Nobody likes that. So you gotta have a grip on what you're doing. So the way that good investors, I won't say I advise you because I'm not giving advice, but generally the way that I look at things is if you've got more than 10, you need to ask yourself why. All you need is about 5 to 6 really good cryptos. And I don't care if you're, and I'll excuse it and say 10. Why would I say 10? Because there's a few people in this group that have a dual, I don't want to say dual personality, I almost said that, kind of a dual objective. They come in, they say, okay, I'm about 55 years old. I want to grow my money because I realize I'm going to die soon. I'm going to have health problems. I'm going to blah, blah, blah. I need retirement money. I can't be stupid with I can't go all my eggs in the put it on red and spin it and see what happens bag. So you got to divide that. So say, for example, you're going to put, you got 10 cryptos, maybe 5 of them are conservative. And you go and you buy 5 that are conservative, like a Solana, like I don't know, we'll just pick a few, like maybe Ethereum, I would consider Ethereum, whatever. But you buy 5 of the conservative, we'll call them blue chips, and then you take 5, and then you get a little bit more experimental. You screw around, swing trading Bancor, back in your conservative, you got Flamingo. Maybe you're all in on Doge or something like that with your wild man money or something like that. That's how you do that. But so really what you're accomplishing is you've got 5 that you're actively watching and 5 that you have no intention of watching for probably 3-4 years. Okay, so that makes sense. But if you're just buying a bunch of shit just because you want to buy it or whatever, and you don't really know why you bought it because some guy on YouTube told you, or you heard on a chat room somewhere that this was a good coin. Hey, what about this Safe Moon? What about it? What about this? What about this Shibu coin? What about it? What about it? So I it's gone up. Yep, and you weren't in it. So what about it? So you didn't get in on the ground floor. So now you're gonna FOMO in and toss all your money in there and hope that you can catch the elevator and you don't know how tall the building is. Not a good move. Not a good move at all. So that's just basically the gist of it. And so when it comes to investing and owning portfolios, my belief, I won't say suggestion, just my mantra is keep it 5 or less. In the active category, however many you want to do passively that you're not gonna trade for 3-4 years, that's on you. But if you're just buying crap and lumping it all together, you're creating an accounting and a management problem you don't want nothing to do with. And the bigger sin there is the fact that when something moves, you got so much crap piled up you can't watch all of it. If something moves and you got these trading view alerts going off, and you should, telling you if something's moving, you can't remember, do you own this or how much you got or whatever. You got to be positioned for this stuff. That's what makes a good investor good. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and did we cover OMG? I'm sorry. I don't know if I flew through that. I'm sorry. I kind of get. Yeah. So OMG, but yeah, I think we haven't covered OMG. So that was the free giveaway. So we're just waiting for a bottom call. So I'm really honestly, and since this is a free giveaway thing that I tell everybody I kind of maintain, I'm still watching for, and this is a bottom call. I'm waiting for $3.50 to play out. And in my mind, here's the thing: if it goes lower than 351, it could. I don't think there's any real problem with that. You're never going to catch the bottom. Let's say it goes down to $3.33. Are you really going to bitch if you bought it at 350? Whatever. Maybe you probably want to buy according to the AI lines because these things tend to be where the things stop off. So maybe you want to throw a call in there at $3.33 just to be fun. 333. Just do a market order, or not a market order, but just do a limit order on that thing. Set it and forget it. If we come down and hit it, great. Basically praise me publicly, and if you miss it, then get on my live stream and trash talk me. I'll take it. I'm a big boy. But I don't think you're gonna. So when this thing goes the other way, we have it forecasted for this year, not the end of the story, just this chapter. We have it set, predicted at about $20 to $25. And again, we talked about many times about iceberg theory. If the iceberg is so tall, how much iceberg you got above the waterline, most of it's above the waterline. So we're really at the bottom part. We're at the bearish part of a bullish market. And that's broadly speaking on all coins. So not to suggest if you bought any of these better coins today and just could get a grip on yourself, it'll turn around. It'll go on. What am I carrying? I don't talk about that. Well, that's kind of an issue that I would love to be able to rant about. I have a security issue that is not making me happy at all right now. So suffice it to say, I would like to be a lot better position than I am right now, and I'm not in a good position. So, but things will work around. The universe takes pretty good care of me, so I'm not worried about it. But I can tell you which ones I'm favorites on, though, Eddie. XRP and XLM, unquestionably. And to a lighter degree, Reef. Reef, XLM, XRP are the ones that I hold probably the most love for. How's that? And those are the ones that I watch daily, by the way. Not to say that those are the best that are out there, but certainly the ones that got my attention. And this one, from a swing trading standpoint, this thing's just so stinking good. There's a lot of them. There's there's Ocean, but so let's zip through this real quick. I don't want to go past 10 o'clock tonight because I got a few things I want to do here. So let's go ahead and take a look at a few of the highlights. Let's go ahead and bump in on 1 inch, which is now that's a bit of a pump. Not again. Let's be honest. This is not that big of a jump out of the general perspective, but one would be given to believe that that's definitely the start of something. But let's zoom in and I'll show you why it's not, because you can see that the alligator is starting to curl over and it's giving it all back. So in a short period of time, it's going to be coming on down. We're already red. We're already rolling red. Yeah. So GoldenEye, again, I want all you guys that are thinking about signing up. I do want you to be cognizant because I don't want to see you waste your money. Be cognizant of the fact that if you do want chat room support and stuff, you do want to be on my Discord, that starts at gold level. So if you guys want to subscribe, and Platinum has 2 levels. So if you're Platinum, you get into the gold chat, but you also get into the Platinum chat where it has a direct. Platinum is kind of like copying my homework. If I'm really looking at something as if I wanted to trade it, or if I wanted to buy it or whatever, I would be directly announcing that to Platinum. Gold, obviously, the more you pay, the more access you get, kind of thing. So plus Platinum has got a hell of a lot more coins. Basically, everything I track is in Platinum. So just be aware of that, because I don't want you calling me back 2 days later going, hey, I want to upgrade my Discord. See it all the time. So I don't want to see you waste your money. And Platinum, you'll be quite impressed. Anybody in here will tell you how Platinum is. They I haven't had anybody tell me they subscribed over there at Platinum that ever regretted it. Let's put it that way. Not a lot of businesses can say that, but the guys at Fibby Charts have really done a fantastic job of putting that together. And I support it with the charting that I do and stuff like that. And they pick up off of my live streams, and so it's a good passive relationship, I think. Yeah, actually, as a matter of fact, you ask a good question. If you want, I don't know. Hang on just a second. I don't know if it's in there or not anymore. I don't know. They upgrade their charts. I will answer that question right now. I don't want to get into a sales pitch here, but it is a question you guys may want to know. Um, Hang on just a second here. I believe they had a custom chart subscription in there. I don't know if that's still in there or not. Um, I don't see it. I don't see it in there now. However, if there's something that you want that is custom, that's not on any of these subscriptions, if you're a member of Platinum or a member of Gold, and you want a certain coin, you want a certain chart for something that's not being charted, they do have like a one-time thing. And it's pretty reasonable. I think it's like $40, $50, and they'll do a live chart for you. So, oh, is it in there? Okay. So yeah, it's like an a la carte service. To if you've got a gold, let me be specific. You have to have a gold or a platinum subscription, as I understand it. And if you have that and you want additional added to it, then they will work up the chart for you. And then of course, obviously, I'll comment on that chart as well too. All right, so flamingo we don't talk about very much. So flamingo is really getting down into a highly attractive price. So when I first put this on the site, I told you guys I really like this at 30 to 40 cents, and then it just took off. I thought, oh, if you didn't get in on it, I'm sorry. Now it's pulled back since we've had a lot of beat down stuff like that. Um, does anybody deny that we're sagging down, possibly revisit that. If we get into the orange box, I don't think there would be any sin in buying it. But if we get below the orange box down here into the ping pong zone, or even lower, that should be readjusted a little bit. Then I see no great sin in anything below this, the halfway point on this orange, because this thing will stake, or is a liquidity pool thing. Basically, you can loan your flamingo out and make 100% in less than 1 year return on your money. Crazy, just by owning it. Just by owning it, you can make 100% return on your money in, like, I think it was 9 months or something like that. If you told your broker, hey, I'm buying this thing that I don't ever have to do anything, and by the way, I don't have to pay you any fees, and I'm making 100% return on my money in less than a year, he's gonna go, get out of here. Really, we've got members that are doing it right now. Sure, I'll go back. I don't cover Litecoin very often, but I'll go ahead and do it. What are you owning Litecoin for? Are you a Bixweir fan? It's the same thing. I mean, you can very well see what's going on. It's there's probably this is probably one of the most clear-cut cases of a downward trend with no hope of revival anytime soon that I could probably point you to, or I would put it on a short path. Yeah, that's not looking happy at all. Not at all. Yeah. So again, we're not quite touching the top of the channel. We're rolling over at the 3/4 point. So again, it's following exactly the same trajectory, generally speaking. So the broader narrative is there's no down call to make, but I can tell you effectively where we're ultimately heading if we follow the narrative of there's 11%, there's 20%. I mean, you guys know what I think about 20%. Can we do 20% in a day? Hell yes, we can do 20% a day. That's easy to do, but that's not the end of the story. So we're probably going to end up down here. So let's take a 35% drop. Let's take her from where she's at. And let's see where 35 puts you. 28 puts you there. 32 puts you there. That's $104, by the way. Yeah, it's 152 right now. You can shave about a third of that right off by the time we get to the bottom. I would be quite yeah, I would not be at all surprised to see that we'll probably be down at $103 level by the time the real blood starts to flow. I mean, if I always have to say if, I mean, if we get what should be shaping up, and again, I always come back. So if this market does not give me what I'm predicting, I'm standing on the reason. I want to make sure that I'm clear the reason why I'm giving these calls. Well, first of all, why would we go this far? Why do you ever drive halfway down a road only to turn and go back the other direction? No, you go down a road for a reason. Why are we going this low as a market? Why wouldn't XRP go all the way to the bottom? We're already basically one third of the way there. I mean, what reasonable, forget XRP lawsuit, you know that's bullshit. I've demonstrated that enough on stream here. Why would we go this far down a road and not go the rest of the way? Which means to the bottom. The bottom meaning roughly $90 to $100 on Litecoin, roughly 22 to 25 cents on XRP, roughly $11 on XL, or I'm sorry, 11 cents on XLM. All these targets, they must come to pass. If we're going to do it, then damn it, let's just do it. Is basically what I've been saying. So I believe that we should see here probably in the not too distant future. We are in the slide right now, as I called for the 17th. So this is, frankly, I'm surprised the snowball's not picking up speed, but when it does. Right. So look for Litecoin at about 90 to 105. Should we short? I do not answer short questions. I will not encourage gambling. Don't do it. I got one member in my group that's managed to make $10 million with 150,000 starting. And he never shorted a day in his life. He just straight trades. So if that's not a testimony to why you shouldn't short, then don't do it. So let's talk about Doge for a second. So some of you guys that are new, I don't want to tell the whole history of Crypto Rich, but Crypto Rich is a member of our group that started trading Doge, just trades Doge. Never knew a damn thing about crypto. Started trading Doge and came into our group with $150,000 from selling an apartment building that he had. Started trading Doge, had good success, 35% returns, kept compounding it, kept plowing it back in, using only our charts as his guide. And he did 17 successful trades, back to back to back to back to back. Never lost a penny. Up, down, money, compounding. Some of these returns upwards of 150 to 300%. And just the most jaw-dropping thing you've ever seen. And this guy is not a professional trader. He's just using this chart that you're looking at right now on live stream. Nothing more for information than this. Didn't follow the news, doesn't really know what Dogecoin does, just trusted the TA, trusted the ISIS system, put his money down, and it was life-changing rewards. So he is $10.125 or $136 million right now, deep casino house money, basically. Got his 150,000 back, definitely. So he's playing. So now, I told you this call was coming. When we were up here, I said we're going to come down to the orange box. We came down, hit it, came down, hit it, came down, hit it. And I told you we're coming down to the orange box. We hit not a little bit, exactly to the orange box. Now I told you that he and several other are going to do the biggest trade they've ever done. $10 million they're going to be purchasing in Doge. I saw this and I thought, oh, holy hell, here we go. But then it bounced off the call line, which was kind of to be expected. We needed a little bit of false hope. But if we look at this, now, interesting, I talked earlier about an opening and a closing move. There it is right there. There's your opening move. There's your closing move. That's what I'm talking about by an opening and closing move. So this is why we got the giant rejection coming up. So this formation has closed out. So now we've got this thing starting something new. What I strongly suspect is going to happen is something like this, and then down we go. Along those lines. And so somewhere in the mystery box, they're going to drop 10 million hot ones on Doge. And they're going to ride this thing all the way up to the target that I've told them is possible, which is somewhere around $1, maybe more, maybe less. And they're going to make 400%, give or take about 400 to 425% return on their $10 million. So if that doesn't excite you, boy, I don't know what would. So doesn't mean you got to have $10 million to do it, but that's his call. I don't participate. I don't have anything to do with it. It's just gratifying and satisfying to see lives being changed. I mean, the guy's living bill free. He's got his dream car. He's paid off his house, his credit cards, his student loans. His wife quit his job. They both quit their jobs. They just got back from Tahiti, and they just private chartered an airplane. Just got their own airplane and flew to Tahiti for 2 weeks. Paid cash. How awesome is that? Just from a stupid friggin' meme coin. That's probably the funniest part about the whole damn thing is like this thing is just a junk coin and completely. Anchor? No. Anchor is in my opinion, no. And I think I talked about it here. I'll go ahead and we're just hunting and pecking around here. Anchor, I think I talked about this. This thing is just well, here you go. Now, ain't this is a very good one. So there's an opening move. I told you the closing move must happen. Sometimes it happens in the form of a bleed. But look at this outrageous drop that ISIS predicted. I mean, you're looking at this kind of going, well, yeah, it might go down. No. ISIS says it's going down this far. And guess what it did? Right to the tick. Right to the tick. And so that's a drop, by the way, and this line was put here when we were up here. I basically, when it was live, I put that call there. And that was a drop of 37 called a 37% drop. And that didn't happen. That looks like a fairly long time. That's actually not that long of a time. So that played out in 23 days. 37% drop in 23 days. How would you like to be basically buying right here, thinking that the market was going to turn around and then shit yourself and see that you just lost 37% on your portfolio when ISIS is telling you stay out of the market? So when you see these things and they, sometimes they'll go down and then they'll go up, and someone's calling and messaging me going, well, what about this call? What about it? What about it? If you don't see that arrow missing, then that means that I'm still sticking to my guns. And it's yellow. It's not gray. Gray is like lesser theory. Yellow is like 65% odds that it's going to happen. 20 some days later, there we are, right on home plate, just like where I said we'd be. Now, I haven't followed this. I just don't follow this because it's at 7 cents. This thing is getting the hell beat out of it. It made sense for a while. I'll tell you my gut level reaction to Anchor. I think a lot of our group, I have this, I don't know if it's in the gold charts or not. It's definitely in the platinum charts. There were people that were trading it for a while and doing the swings and making really good money. But when things started to get really, really, really shitty with the market, I just stopped really giving a damn about it because I just had a gut feeling that something like this was going to happen. When I threw this down, I went, no, not me. No, thank you. And I told everybody else, I don't think it's a wise idea to do anything here. When you see, because we don't see these every day. I mean, that was a straight out of left field call. Boy, that thing was like, you just don't see people making calls like that. 37% call, drop call. So anyway, now we're clear down here. So the bargain basement shopper amongst us would look at this and go, well, 7 cents, it's a bargain. It'll go up. It'll go up because look at this. It's got all this, and then you got a call up here. So this is possible. I left this here for a reason. It's possible. It is green possible. Now, I'm not suggesting that this should probably be yellow because it's not going to be like an immediate call, but I'm not suggesting this is going to happen today, tomorrow, the next week, maybe in a month or so. When the market turns around, I do see Anchor going on. So I won't get into explaining my kooky little theories, but we have something called supermarket theory, which basically kind of like, the manager every once in a while when you get stock in your store where a can of tomatoes isn't selling really well, they move them to the end cap and they have a sale on tomatoes. Well, the way I liken stuff like this is Coinbase carries Anchor. So I view Coinbase as being the grocer, and his grocery store is all the offerings on Coinbase. The can of tomatoes and Anchor, just no one's buying tomatoes anymore. Very clearly we can make that case. They're getting rid of their tomatoes. So eventually Coinbase is going to, I use Coinbase as an example. Anchor trades other places, but eventually Coinbase is going to go, Jesus, man, we're carrying these tomatoes, this Anchor, and ain't nobody buying it. We better have a sale on these things. What is a sale? A sale is when they unleash the bots, and the bots start driving prices up to create FOMO and excitement. Are we there yet? No, we're not. So what I'm suggesting to you is 7 cents right now is a fantastic buy. If you want to choose to believe that this thing will hit, that green arrow, which, frankly, I am a believer on. But you must also understand another concept, time value of money. How long is it going to take for that to get and to be realized? I would suggest to you probably better than 2 months. Probably better than 2 months. I would be surprised if it were anything else. Probably by September. And that's just my gut feeling. But it's probably a good one. Second to that, we haven't had the drop yet. So what are you doing buying it at 7 cents when I'm telling you we're still in a market that's going to crash? So this thing could possibly get itself down to 3-4 cents. It's possible. 3-4-5 cents. So this is not a time to enter the market. It's a time to pay attention to it if you're all about this. It is on a major exchange where you can enter an order. Here's how I would probably approach this. So correct me if I'm wrong, guys, because my mind's a cloud of facts and figures. Is Anchor on Coinbase, guys? If I remember correctly, it is. And correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not stating that as fact. I believe it is. Suggesting the possibility that it is on Anchor is, or if it's on another exchange that can be traded, whatever, that's fine. But if you wanted to possibly buy Anchor, I would entertain the idea of not even thinking about it until you're somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 cents, or maybe possibly sometime below that. And if you entered it is okay. So if you entered a pre-made order for, I would say wait till ISIS gets down there and draws some lines. But if you want to catch a wick, man, you just never know. You just never know. You might catch a wick and it might pop back where it is and then liquidate that shit. Put the money in your pocket and laugh about it. But there's nothing wrong if you think you want to own this. There's nothing wrong with putting a Hail Mary call down here somewhere. I'll give you one. Based now the lines evidently are down there already. So if I'm looking at, I'll just go ahead and give you one. Easy. Not going to surprise me at all. I'm going to try and find TA that matches up. Yep, there she is, right there. Top of that to the bottom of that. So right there. Perfect. Okay. There it is. All right. So from where we're at, there's the call right there. And let me zoom in on this and tell you why I can state that with conviction. Because we're sitting on a 3.618 Fibonacci and AI line. That's a double complement. That's a double call right there. 3.618 is a magic golden ratio number. We just discussed this in the crypto class today. 3.618, you see that number, man, you better be paying attention because there's something very significant about that insofar as the computers are concerned. So we're going to hit dead smack down on that. If we come down, that's going to be the line. It won't be this line, it won't be this line. It will be this line, emphatically, I will tell you that. So let's go back here. Let's see if we can find any reason to believe that that has any kind of validity to it whatsoever. Let's go left. Okay, so we blasted through here. I gotta make sure I'm at the right line here. Hang on just a second. Hold on. Didn't see my price. Okay, so we're basically 0.49 cents, so just sub 5 cents. So all right, so this one's a tough call. So you'll see what happens here. So 0.49, so the arrow came down to 0.49, like right here. There was a pass call a long time ago that was put to that basically same AI line. So I won't get into theories of how the computer works or the bots work, but seeing another call line that's happened in the past right there makes me feel pretty warm and fuzzy about this. However, what I would like to have seen is more of this sideways chop. Now, the way that I read this will be an interesting little thought experiment. The way that I read this is we just don't have this. What we would come down, we would settle because we have support and resistance, but we don't right at this level. What we have is our next, I'll just get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. Our next support and resistance is clear down here at 0.4519. So let's go over here again and see where we're at. So if we come down, this could be the logical move, but we might wick down and tap where the historical support and resistance, meaning we might come down here, but we might go just a little bit further and then come back up. So that would be my possible. So again, micro fractions of a penny. Who gives a shit? But basically, if you feel the urge to buy this at that price, I would probably raise an eyebrow of about possibly thinking about maybe joining you. If I have any cash, I might join that. Entering a call or entering a buy right here, I don't think would be stupid at all. Because let's look at the other possibility. If you did get an order filled right here, and let's just say it went up to here, just to here, that's 25%. That's 25 to 27% return on your money. You don't even have to get up to where we're at. I mean, you just have to fall through and come halfway back up, and you've already made 25% in the matter of probably a few hours. So, not a stupid move. Not a stupid move. Who gives a shit whether the coin is good or not? I mean, when you get low enough and see these bounces, as I told you earlier, if you guys are not making 25, 30% returns on your money, when we strike bottom on this and turn around, what are you doing? I mean, because really, honestly, if we came from where we're at here back up to where we're at right now, that's 46% just to get back to where we're at right now. So, not a losing proposition in my mind. Oh, Coinbase is having a glitch. Well, I think we all know what that means, don't we? All coins are listed as non-tradable. Here it comes, guys. Anyone who's been in crypto long enough to know that whenever the exchanges go down for maintenance or develop glitches, that's usually when we're going to get our ass handed to us. So, all right. So anyway, it more often than not, I'm sorry, you see things happen enough, you can't help but be a little bit on the conspiratorial side. I mean, it just happened too often. All right. So again, another winner here. We're going to cover a couple more, and I'm going to skate here for the night. So Reef. Oh my Lord, guys, Reef. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful call. Boom! Right in the hole. Right in the hole. I mean, this thing at a penny 7, man, this thing, it amazes me that this has come down as far as it has, because I told you guys that this right here, I never thought, because I had bought a little bit, not that much. I had bought a little bit of this, and it went up 90% after that. And when I brought it to the group, it went up 90%. And of course, obviously, the market started to go down, and it came down. And it fought so hard through all the pullbacks and blah, blah, blah. And I never thought it was going to get below this. And, because when everything else was getting beat up, it would go up a little bit and just wouldn't. And finally just had enough and fell through. Now, not to constantly retell the tales of Reef, but this is a financial coin backed by a lot of people that are very sophisticated. This is a coin with great possibility and probability of success. Anubis, and I give this away for free. Anubis has this thing predicted at $3.36 in the next 36 to 48 months. $3.36 on a coin that is a penny and some change right now. That's 32 to 33,000% return on your money, guys. Did you hear me? Because I'm going to say it again. You guys that are asking me, I want to make some money in crypto. This might, and I'm never going to give you financial advice, in my opinion, loudly in my opinion, 36,000% possible. And I'm not suggesting that $3.36 is the stop it and be all say all in the future. Going to probably go considerably higher than this. But what I'm stating to you is facts. I have 2 bots that have a ridiculously good track record of predicting to the pixel the movement, that are stating to me and showing me the graphs, the charts, the predictions, the timelines, $3.36 in the next 36 to 48 months, 3 to 4 years. Anywhere from 32 to 36,000% return on your money. And here's the fun part. I believe this is going to go even lower, down to this white line right down here. Maybe. If that happens, you might be looking at 40 to 45,000% return on your money. So that made it worth your time spent with me here on the live stream. If you happen to possibly profit from that information. So again, I have no dog in your fight. Do what you want to do with your money. That's your decision. So, but the folks that are in our groups and stuff like that believe very, very heavily in this coin, as does our mods, as do I. And this is our personal little hobby favorite coin. I mean, it's not a quick turn coin, and when you start seeing good returns on it, don't shoot yourself in the foot and kill the golden goose before it lays all the eggs, because this one's going to be a game changer. So you third world people, you people in smaller countries, you people that got $50, $60 to your name that don't, if you're going to buy a crypto, I would turn your attention towards something like this. This is an ERC20 coin, so realize you have to own Ethereum to buy it. You have to buy Ethereum, then get it, and then blah, blah, blah. It's a bit of a process, but if you guys want to join us at the unfairadvantage.chat, you can talk to some of the group members who have bought it. They'll talk you and walk you through it. Be happy to do that. So, all right, one more here, two more here, and then we're gonna kick everybody out of the clubhouse here. So, hold on. Yeah, it's also, yeah. All right, so want to start looking at chills. I kind of, like I said, it's just kind of a junk little coin. This just recently got listed on Coinbase, and I told you, there you go, there's the call, smack. I told you this thing's going to be walking the channel, and it's going to be going down. That's sure enough, that's exactly what's going on. I got to straighten up my arrows, keep wandering all over the place. There we go. Coinbase, or TradingView has a tendency to migrate my arrows when I don't lock them in. So anyway, when this thing breaks, let me put it to you this way: when this thing breaks out of this channel, I'm going to start watching this thing heavily, because this is something that just got listed on Coinbase, and eventually it's going to kind of, it's going to get beat down, but eventually this is a new acquisition for Coinbase. They're going to show off their new toys. They're going to want this thing to come up and not make them look stupid for listing it, So chills, whatever it is, who cares? Doesn't matter. If the price is attractive, 27. Well, let me show you what a double Fibonacci and AI line looks like. It looks like that right there. Green line is a Fibonacci line. Bronze line is an AI line. This is the difference in opinion between the two. Mine being more accurate. Again, we see it right here. So, but here's what I would tell you: I would not be surprised to see chills dive right down to at least right there. So, and would not be surprised, because it is a shit coin at this point in time, so it's going to have a harder, faster move than everything else does. So shit coins are going to move. That's only a 28. Let's just call it 30. That's a 30% move. We can do that easily. Even blue chip coins can do that, given enough time. So if you wanted to get on Coinbase and maybe roll the dice and say, I'm going to throw in at 19.5 cents and see if I can get this damn thing, and maybe try. And if it goes a little bit lower, it'll come back, pass, and you'll be back in profit or whatever. I have every bit of confidence in that. But if you want to grab a coin like this and go down 30% cheaper or 40% cheaper and do a Hail Mary buy, if it doesn't fill, then you've lost nothing. If it does, then you just bought something that might possibly turn around and go up 20-30%. Because again, not to get preachy about this, but let's say if this thing goes up just to the next AI line, you've already made 13%. You go up 2 AI lines, you made 27%. Cash the check, man. You don't even need to go back to all-time high. All you got to do is come up to 2 AI lines and get the hell out of Dodge. You've already made 26-27%. Not too bad for a simple couple of hours of time. All right, so I covered Doge. Let's go ahead and look at this damn thing. Whoop. Yeah, so this is trending sideways. People would call that an accumulation, but I don't. All right, so what do we got here? What we got is this. Now, I'm going to show you, I've talked about opening and closing moves. There is an opening move. We have not seen this distance, this velocity. That is represented by this arrow. There it is. Starts here, ends here. So we've got a velocity. We need to assign this to a location. How we do this is we use technical TA based upon the charts. We look at the bronze lines that are laid down by statistical averages by ISIS. We find the current location. We take the velocity. We stick it on the AI line. We match it, and we see if this AI line, if this current position plus a given AI line match this velocity, we have a potential. I have to kind of tweak that just a little bit because I don't always get the proper. I could probably get in there and dial it in. Yeah, close enough. All right, so if we find an AI line that matches from where we're charting or where we currently are to an AI line with a matching velocity, we stick it in there, and odds are pretty damn good that we're going to be hitting it. So there's your opening move, there's your closing move. And again, if we're expecting the market to go down, if we were expecting the market to go up, then we would play it the other direction. We would say, okay, there's the move. We're going down, then we're going to go up. Not going to happen, folks. We're going down. Absolutely going down. So I'm not even opening the possibility of an upward, holding move anytime soon. So where we are right now with the market is we're basically just kind of, we haven't hit the bottom. There's nothing about this that sways my belief that the tides have changed, the wind is blowing, north instead of south now or anything like that. It's hard to quantify and qualify and to enunciate, why I come to these conclusions. It's just the coming together of a lot of experience. And so, for the time being, even though I know it's infuriating to not know where the bottom is, to simply know that I'm watching it all the way to the bottom and I'm showing you signposts. When we get to the bottom and I see something that looks quite radically different, like accumulation or double bottoms or double bounces or whatever. There's all kinds of tricks in their bag. When I start seeing those tricks come out, then I know we're close to the bottom or we're at the bottom. So, but again, we're gonna kind of look at the probabilities of how low on the iceberg we are. I'm just gonna say, shit, guys, good enough, and really it'll probably be something like that. I'll just kind of go, really, I mean, do you need a couple more pennies off your purchase price? Given the fact that probably 30 days from now we're probably going to be 400-500% return on your money, does it really matter? Sure, I'll do Populous. I meant to do that. Sorry, I just get past that. Populous being one that's going to probably do very well when it finally turns around. So this one kind of tested the. Gotta move that over a little bit. This one kind of played off a little bit, played into the red box. We're still, we're still calling right in this range here. Basically, I'll just go ahead and say like right in this general range here. Honestly, anything from the halfway point down on the red box seems to be a very, very doable. But again, there was the call, hit that many times. There was a call, hit it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So we're not. So if you wanted to go from where we're at right now and just take it down to the bottom, that's 38% to the bottom of the box. I mean, so in my opinion, anything from $1.30 down to buck even below, if we catch a wick, I wouldn't hold out hope. But anything below this call marker here, the lower 1/3 of this red box, is a supremely good buy, in my opinion. Am I confident it will turn around quick? Yes, very. Very. And that flows from the idea, Chase. Chase is our high school graduate student, so gonna teach the young man a little something. There's something that basically happens in this world with money. It doesn't ever sit still, ever. Money has to go somewhere all the time. Money's always moving, like they said the old movie Wall Street. Money's always moving. Money never sleeps. So if the market tanks, it'll go into private hands, and private hands don't like holding dead money. They got to put it somewhere. So where does it go? It goes into the new thing with the great hope, and that's crypto. So when the panic, I can give you this is a whole stream, whole narrative in and of itself. But generally speaking, let me give you a theory here, Chase, and all of you actually. So let's assume that the crash is happening. Well, the crash is happening. Clearly, you can see that. And by crash, I don't mean crypto crash. I mean the whole bloody mess. I mean real estate, blah, blah. I'm a real estate guy. Oh, my God. Can anybody truly look at real estate and explain to me why people are 3 years behind on their mortgage and not being thrown out of their house? Somebody please explain that to me, because I'm 25 years in the market. I don't know. I do know, but we'll talk about that at another time, because the bankers are going to be your new landlords. That's why. But yeah, by the end of summer, Chase, you're not going to know. You're not going to recognize this market by the end of summer. Not at all. So the essence of this is the stock market's going to have its final correction. The money, real money, fiat, that green stuff, That's finally just going to hit the goddamn wall. It just is. And eventually, we have the world is a big place with lots of stories that all come together. There's some stories I can interject into this. Like you guys all know that the other countries are getting together. They've had enough of our crap in America, and they're going to get off the dollar standard. That's in the works right now. So our dollar, no matter how many times we're happy shooting ourselves in the foot, they're going to help shoot us in the foot too, because there's other people who are kind of sick of our shit, to be very blunt, and they're going to get off of our drug called the U.S. dollar, and they're going to create their own thing. So faith and confidence in a dollar on a worldwide platform, done this year. Evidence of that is already supremely showing, if you know how to look for it. Long band? Don't know what long band is. But anyway, so the stock market, look into these big things, even if you don't trade in them or don't know them. Are you confident in the housing market? No. Are you confident in the gold market? No. How about the silver market? No. How about bonds, stocks? You feel good about any of that? No. So what's going to happen is the world's largest game of dominoes. They're all not going to, like on a Thursday at 3 o'clock, just all go shitty. It'll be one goes, and then another, and another, and another. That's how these banks failed. One bank goes, takes another bank, takes another. The next thing you know, we have that debacle that we had a decade ago. That's how it goes. It'll be some little spark that lights the whole thing, and it's just going to rip through the financial markets. Now, is there anything wrong with crypto? No. But the thing is everybody's dead ass broke right now. So everybody's like playing it by the sidelines. Everybody's selling. I'll tell you what's causing a lot of this. Manipulation, yes. But of the human part of this, I've watched it in our own group. I've watched it. We had a gentleman that basically just washed out. He had some issues anyway. He just basically tapped out making stupid trades. But what happened is he had a bunch of crypto, and he's trying to get the golden goose, trying to get the golden eggs and stuff like that. Threw all of his rent money into crypto, hoping for a big pop, which I never told him was coming right now. I said, we're still going down. But he heard, when I said down, he heard up. He just wouldn't listen. Threw all of his money into it, and so what ended up happening? The price of said crypto went down, as I told him it would, and now he's got to pay his rent money. So now he's pairing off his crypto at a loss, mind you. And so there have been people that have been hodling forever and ever. But hodl sounds like such a novel thing until you have to keep the lights on, until you have to take a shower and you need water, until you have to keep the landlord, from the ones that still can, from setting you on the curb. Where do you go when you lost your job? If you're holding crypto, you're selling your crypto, you're selling your car, you're selling, whatever. And this is an asset that could be liquidated, your gold, your silver, your whatever. When society has not been made to bleed and hurt enough, that all of these people, they're slowly, I'm seeing it in our group, they're selling off some of their assets because they need to be able to pay rent. And, a very good friend of mine in this group, and I won't name names, he's exactly in this situation right now. He's been holding a certain currency for a certain period of time, and, we're all hoping to see that project do well. But, reality, it's knocking. Got to pay the bills. And so he's watching this go down. He's like, fuck, I don't want to sell it, but I got to sell it. And so he's got kids. He's got family to feed. He's got, and the cost, he told me actually that they're going to be going to peak electricity. And, the cost of his power bill is going to go up $4,000 next year. And, that's not going to be free. Where are you going to get that money? He's lost hours and stuff like that because of his job. And so where do you go? You go to the crypto well. You sell some, you shave off a feather or two off of the golden goose. You don't kill the golden goose, but, you're plucking feathers, And so that's where we're at with this right now. So to answer your question, Chase, we have to have enough of that where there just isn't any more of that going on. We've got the crash. May not be oh my God, nothing works. It'll be like, have you noticed there's just no food on the shelves? Have you noticed the banks are all closed? It's just one of these things where it's. I suspect the greater amount of it will be covered up, but it'll be painfully obvious that things just don't work anymore. I'll give you a good example here. My son, he's in the military. He gets paid on the 1st and the 15th. It is the 20th. He has not got his check. What does that tell you? Tells me that the government's got problems. It's the 20th. He hasn't got his check yet. The government hasn't paid my son for 5 days. What does that tell you? All you got to do is look at the things around you and ask yourself, what does it really mean? Government owes him $1,600 and they can't pay him, or haven't paid him. Actually, they owe him half that, $800, and can't even seem to find the money to get my son $800. So how's that sound? All right. So that's pretty much the run through tonight, guys. We're going to join us tomorrow on Monday. We're going to be doing with Red Bear. We're going to do our Monday night crypto chats. We're going to talk a little bit about some new topics and stuff like that. I'll leave that up for a surprise for you guys to figure out what that's going to be, or to find out what the topics are going to be. But always informative, always entertaining, of course. So until tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. The treehouse is closed. I will see you same time tomorrow. So until that time, be good, be safe, and be good at it. Peace and hair grease, baby.